Bienvenidos, aloha, welcome into TarTV. Alex Crawford, Andy Hayes with you here live from the Bill Barnett pool deck. It's a Monday, and we've got some water polo. Newport Harbor taking on Harvard Westlake. Girls getting ready for the ball drop at 4 o'clock, and then we'll have the boys varsity at 5:30. Newport Harbor girls trying to pick up their second win of the season. They opened up things against CDM last Thursday. Andy, we were on the call for that, 14-6 drubbing. Then they lost to Laguna on Saturday, 14-8. So the Sailor ladies trying to bounce back from that one. Harvard Westlake comes in at 1-2 on the season. Should be a good bounce back opportunity for the Sailors. But before we get into some action, we have Taryn Rodriguez joining us now. Taryn covers the Sailors for a variety of outlets. And Taryn, what do you have your eyes on here in today's girls' game? Sailors taking on the Wolverines of Harvard Westlake.
Well, for one thing, I think their defense is going to want to be a little bit more crisper. They didn't play too bad against Laguna Beach, but the problem is that their defense kind of wore down and their offense just kept on getting beaten and locked up, as they only scored one goal in the second half of the Laguna game, and that was actually a non-natural goal. It was actually by a 5-meter, which many can make the argument that it couldn't have been a 5-meter, but they were lucky to get that one goal in the second half. So overall, I think this is going to be a game where Newport and Harvard Westlake are going to have to play defense. It's kind of like a chess match, but for Ross, he plays chess, and while his opponents play checkers. So it's going to boil down to most likely defense.
Well, awesome, Taryn. I believe the ball is about to be dropped here for the first sprint, but I definitely have a question I'm going to want to ask you on the next time.
Check back in with us between some of the quarters, Taryn.
Definitely. And remember, Harvard Westlake is the reigning Division II champion, so they're not to be underestimated.
Awesome. That's
right,
a great point. Thank you very much, Taryn.
Joining us, and we'll talk to you in a little bit.
Thank you.
All right, the ball is dropped, and the game is underway. First quarter, 7 minutes on the clock, and the Sailors control the opening possession. Working from left to right here on the pool deck in front of us, working around down to the 2-meter player, a shot and a goal. Just like that, Avery Montiel gets on the board. She had one goal against CDM, and she opens up the scoring here for the Sailors. They lead 1-0, 6:42 left to go in this first quarter. Andy, that was quick.
That was really quick, man. I mean, it looked like Newport was working for Olivia Giolis down low in the hold position, but, the defense was caught sleeping on the lefty side, and Miss Avery Montiel was able to make a good drive and get herself open. And a crisp pass by, I believe that was Morgan Netherton.
Okay, Netherton with the assist. We'll put that in our stat sheet here. And now we get a look at Harvard Westlake on attack for the first time this afternoon. A deep shot, bar out. Westlake able to keep up possession. Jordan LaCour with it. And the shot clock expired, was supposed to reset, so they will retain possession. Was supposed to reset after the bar out. They get it down here to number 10, Caitlin Munoz in the white cap for Harvard Westlake, working the ball around. Shot clock down to 15.
That was a really good post-up by Ava Magna right there. Not able to get the shot off, but the good drive and saw a mismatch and was able to take advantage. But
Morgan Netherton with the smothering defense forces the turnover. Sailors back on attack. They scored. Montiel has it. She's got the lone goal in the game for the Sailors. Throws a cross-pool pass, ends up in Taylor Smith's hands. She's so dangerous with the ball in her hands. 11 goals this season through just 2 games. Alex Love has it at the point position. They get it down to the 5 spot. Now Giolis inside at the 2.
Beautiful move by Olivia. Really good play. Next time I want everybody and yourself, Alex, to watch Olivia or whoever is playing 2 meters and see where her legs are facing. That is going to be the direction in which Newport is going to be working the ball to be able to make a play like we just saw.
So a foul called, penalty shot. Morgan Netherton will attempt it for Harbor. Skips, and goalie there able to make a save. Tia Pine, the goalkeeper for Harvard Westlake. 1-0 your score here. 90 seconds into this game. Harvard Westlake back on attack. Cross pool pass over to the 2 spot.
That's right, Alex. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah,
buddy.
You just let me know, Andy. You just go ahead and let me know if I'm talking polo. Shot, and it's in. Long-range missile. Amber Nowicek, the freshman from Harvard Westlake, able to connect the number 9 cap. And she evens things up here, 1-1, 5:12 to go in the first quarter.
That was a good shot. Like you're learning from the forward position there, Alex, or like you already know. That's a tough angle for a righty. And who was that just scored?
I believe that was the number 9 cap, Amber Nowacek.
Okay, nice. Yeah, Amber, way to put it in the top high corner, bar down. Goalie was able to get it.
All right, Sailors.
Ooh.
Okay, so another penalty shot here for the Sailors.
Yeah, I wonder what that was. I missed that. Too busy looking up the roster names.
Morgan Netherton missed her first penalty shot attempt in this game, but right back at it. She'll get another look. Game's tied up 1-1. 5:01 to go in the first. Shot by Netherton. This time she connects. Able to break the stalemate. 2-1 now. Harbor leads. Morgan Netherton with her first goal of the game. She had a hat trick against Corona Del Mar. Three times she touched the twine, as they say.
Ah, right. I love that term. And we just had a personnel change in goalkeeper. Tia Pine is out, and we have Lena Bagley, who just came in.
Lena Bagley in the goal for the Wolverines. They're back on attack, trailing 2-1. They have it at the point position. And that is
Alex Love.
An exclusion against the Sailors, so 6-on-5 opportunity here for the Wolverines.
I mean, unfortunately for Newport and Miss Love right there, that's just a textbook easy ejection call for the officials. She was on the back of the driver, the offensive player. Looked like she was holding her, and that's just an automatic.
Right into the chest of Anna Reed. She had 11 saves on Saturday against Laguna. She's already got a few here this afternoon. And quick counterattack by the Sailors.
Look weak at number 12. Let's see if Taylor sees
Taylor Smith one-on-one. Ava Vaca Lena Bagley able to get the save for the Wolverines. Very rare to see Taylor Smith attempt a shot and not connect, Andy.
Yeah. I mean, that was her as a one-on-nobody. I would have liked to have seen Olivia Gillis continue down to the 2-meter line. And
shot and a goal. That was Lily Guess. She had the hat trick on Thursday against CDM, and she finds the back of the net here in the first period. 3-1 Sailors lead, 4:04 to go in the first. And a good start for Newport Harbor, Andy.
Good start, yeah. I think that they can kind of crisp up a little bit, like their counterattack, like that miss by Taylor Smith. It was a great counterattack, but it's obvious that we haven't been practicing her as much as Coach Ross would have liked, that's for sure. But Newport will get it.
Well, Coach Ross, even if they were in perfect form, he'd still say there was rust to be shaken off by this Sailors team. 3:45 to go in the first. Sailors are up 3-1 over Harvard Westlake here. Shot clock down to 7. Great defense by the Sailors. And Morgan Netherton comes up with the steal.
All right, look at here. Look, we got Paige Nagel. Oh.
And a turnover. They were trying to get it ahead to Nagel. Ends up in the hands of Harvard Westlake. And now swimming ahead with it is Caitlin Munoz here. Swimming up to the 1 spot. Tight defense being played on her. They get it back up to the point position. 15 on the shot clock. And an ordinary foul against the Sailors. Westlake with possession. Single digits now on the shot clock. Taylor Smith smothering defense. And she'll come away with a steal. She's not just an offensive powerhouse, Andy. She's got 11 goals on the season. But really, she makes her bread and butter on the defensive end. I know that's what head coach Ross Sinclair would point out.
Yeah. He might have had a little critique for her on that last defensive possession, but she lucked out, and the team did as well to be able to get that steal.
Paige Nagel has it here. Inside, back out to Netherton at the point position. She's going to swim in with it around the 5-meter line and uncork one. Bar out over the top of the cage. Turnover. But I do like to see Netherton test the rocket launcher.
Right there, Morgan was caught doing something. She's earning a 20-second timeout for us. But
so 6-on-5 opportunity for the Wolverines. Shot and a goal. Just to the left of goalkeeper Anna Reed. I believe that was the 10 cap for the Wolverines. Caitlin Munoz finding the back of the net. 3-2 Sailors lead with 2:32 to go here in the first.
Yeah, and I want something something that we got to realize here is that on a 5-on-6 disadvantage, the team is expected, the field players are expected a lot more to cover a shot block zone. So even though it might look like the goalie missed that shot, the goalie is relying heavily on her field players to cover part of the goal.
Netherton with a deep pass down to Montiel, had the first goal of this game. The lefty up with it. Long pass, shot, and a goal. Montiel to Taylor Smith. A beautiful connection. Similar to an alley-oop in basketball, Taylor Smith finds the back of the net for the first time today, her 12th goal of the season, and the Sailors double up the Wolverines 4-2 with 2:14 to go in the first period.
That was excellent. And what was really good about that is that Avery, Avery Montiel, the lefty,
Yes,
was
Andy.
able to take that inside of the 2-meter line, allowing Taylor to drive all the way in, get closer to the goal than normal because the ball was inside of the 2-meter line, and made a beautiful pass. Good drive. Well done, Newport.
Ordinary foul going to go against the Sailors, and the Wolverines will retain possession. Final 2 minutes of the first quarter, and the shot clock down to 5 seconds. So Wolverines got to do something with it. Referee whistles, and it is a turnover for the Wolverines. Sailors on the counterattack.
Let's see what we got going here. All right, check out number 12, Olivia. See how her legs are pointed towards us, the 4-5 side?
Yes.
Yeah, we were working.
Oh, they're trying to get the ball inside to Olivia. And the goalkeeper, Tia Pine, for Harvard Westlake, swims out to take that one away.
Yes, she does. She's back in for Harvard.
Yeah, we've seen 2 different goalkeepers for the Wolverines thus far in the game. Taylor Smith on the pressing defense as the Wolverines have it down in the 5 spot. And a shot saved by Reed.
Nice. Newport Harbor, way to force that bad angle shot from the righty at position 5.
And here comes Morgan Netherton feeding it down in the 1 spot to Smith, who tries to get it inside to Giolis. A scrum for the ball, and they're going to call an offensive foul against the Sailors. So that will be a turnover inside of 1 minute to go here in the first. Harbor leads 4-2 over the Wolverines of Harvard Westlake. These 2 teams last played on December 14th, 2019. Harbor won that game 16-10.
Ooh. All right, let's hope we have an outcome similar. Maybe a couple less goals against.
Yeah, well, we know Ross doesn't want any goals against. 7 on the shot clock, 29 seconds on the game clock here in the first period. An inside shot saved by Reed. She comes up and swats that thing away. Shot clock horn sounds, and the Sailors will have the ball 20 seconds on the clock at the end of the first quarter. They'll get one last look, one last attempt to add to their 2-point lead. They pass it down into the 1 spot, trying to feed it into Smith. Fight for the ball, and an offensive foul will go against Taylor Smith. Turnover, Sailors, 6 seconds on the clock. Wolverines just going to get one desperate heave down the goal, and Anna Reed is there. That does it. At the end of 1, Harbor doubling up the Wolverines. 4-2 your score. We'll take a quick breather. When we come back, we will have second quarter action for you from the Bill Barnett pool deck. A boys-girls doubleheader here today. Andy, girls game happening right now, obviously, and then we'll stick around for the boys game at 5:30, and that is one you don't want to miss. So if you're tuned in now and you think you have plans later, you don't. Push them back and make sure you stay tuned in for Newport Harbor boys water polo at 5:30. But we got 3 quarters of action here in front of us. When we come back, second quarter, Harbor leads 4-2 on TarTV. Welcome back into TarTV. Alex Crawford, Andy Hayes with you here live from Newport Harbor High School. Our doubleheader, girls in the pool right now. Boys game at 5:30, and the Sailors lead here at the start of the second quarter, 4-2 over Harvard Westlake. First time these two teams have matched up since December of 2019. Sailors won that game by a 6-point margin, 16-10, and they're up by 2 here at the start of the second period. Harbor wins the ball drop for the second time this afternoon, 2 for 2 on opening the quarters with possession, and they get it down to the 1 spot, trying to feed it ahead to Giolis in the 2-meter spot. Little skip shot, doesn't make it past the Wolverines goalkeeper, and here comes Harvard Westlake, down by 2.
So, I mean, my dad always used to say it's a huge advantage with a team having somebody who can win the sprint every quarter. That's 1 extra possession that they get. And typically a team, I would assume Ross has one, has a play drawn up for if we do win the sprint. So
Harvard Westlake has it. Single digits on the shot clock. A long shot misses everything. Turnover. And here come the Sailors.
All right, here we go. Olivia Giolis, a bit of an advantage coming out of the transition. Let's see if Newport's going to make anything of that.
They get it down in the 5 spot to Montiel with the left hand. She swims in. Now over to Netherton at the 1 position. Back to Alex Love. Montiel, she's got a goal already in this game and an assist. Now Giolis has it. Single digits on the shot clock. Trying to dump it inside to Smith. Turns around. No. Taylor Smith unable to find pay dirt. 12 goals this season for Smith. No goals yet this quarter for either team. We are 1 minute into the second. Sailors still lead 4-2.
Good defense by Newport, not allowing that pass to get anywhere.
Cross-pool pass. And that was Lily Guess able to get a paw on it. And the shot clock again dwindling down. Just 3 seconds. Desperation heave. Bar out. Reed chasing it down. And the shot clock expires. That was Caitlin Munoz in pursuit. And an outlet pass by Reed. Forces it ahead to Netherton. Inside shot and a goal. Alex Love connects. Morgan Netherton on the assist. A 3-point advantage now for the Sailors. 5-2 with 5:15 to go here in the second.
Just doing what Newport does best, finishing on the counterattack. We got Munoz on Harvard Westlake was chasing down the goalie, giving a little bit of time and more space with 1 less person, defensive personnel down in the front court, allowing Newport to take the advantage and strike gold.
Wolverines now on the attack. They get it down to Munoz at the 1 spot. Back to Button at the 2. Pressing defense by Olivia Giolis. And now Taylor Smith in pursuit. Absolutely smothering the Harvard Westlake player.
So this is really, really good defense. As you can see, basically the front line that should be on the 2-meter line right now is being pushed out to 5.
Skip shot. Reed's there all over that. Easy work for sophomore goalkeeper Anna Reed. So excited we get 2 more years of her in the pool here, Andy.
Oh my goodness, Alex! Absolutely, it's gonna be really fun to watch her play throughout her Newport Harbor career here. Already giving us a lot of good stuff.
And an offensive foul will go against the Sailors. And now Harvard Westlake able to draw an exclusion, so the Wolverines will have a 6-on-5 advantage, and their head coach Matt Kubicek wants to take a timeout, draw something up. With his team down by 3, 4:28 to go here in the second. The Wolverines will have a power play.
Yes, they will. Let's see. Again, remember, there's a lot of responsibility on the field blockers for their shot blocking skills right now. So the main goal of a 6-on-5 for an offensive team is to move the ball a lot, make the defenders have to move over their hips, get them out of position, and find the one on nobody.
All right, 6-on-5 advantage, so you'll see 2 players down to the 2-meter spot for the Wolverines. They work the ball around as they have the 1-player advantage. Bar out, hits the top crossbar. Giolis tips it back to Reed, and Harbor able to hold the Wolverines off despite the 1-play advantage there on that offensive possession. And here comes Sophia Stark swimming ahead on the counterattack. Down to the lefty Montiel, one-on-one with the goalkeeper. Skip shot it in. Leaks that one into the left side of the net. And that's Montiel's second goal of the afternoon. Sailors now lead 6-2, just under 4 minutes to go here in the second.
That was really good. I mean, that's the beautiful thing about having a lefty. You're able to have that good angle and attack and really open up the cage. And Avery just put it exactly where she needed to be, cross cage low. Coach Lynch, that's for you.
Coach Lynch loved the cross cage low, didn't he, Andy?
Oh, yeah, make the goalie fall all the way to the near side post. Get up, shoot it low. Let the goalie come up, bring their arms up, and skip it under their arms.
Sophia Stark able to come away with the steal for the Sailors. And head coach Ross Sinclair going to call a timeout. What do you think he's going to say to his team here, Andy? What do you think Ross has drawn up here during this timeout?
I think, look at it. He's going over there with no clipboard. This is something that these girls have definitely practiced over and over. If I'm gonna bet, I'm gonna say since we have a lefty, we have Taylor Smith, we have Morgan Netherton, Lily Guess, all really good outside shooters, and then we got Olivia Gillis in the post, who's very successful. I'm gonna say they're gonna do a 1-in, so the righty on the far side of the pool is gonna take it inside of the 2 meters, shifting the 6th position, the lefty, probably Avery Montiel, up high, and then she's gonna get the ball. They're gonna work it to Avery. She's gonna dip into the 2 meter line, the 2 post. Where I bet Olivia Jolis will be, is going to go inside of the 2. It's going to be a 6-2 pass for a slam dunk shot. Let's see.
Okay, let's see. And you know what? If that does happen, you know me, I'm a little bit of a water polo novice. So if that does happen, make sure I don't miss it. And make sure I give you credit for your Tony Romo-esque prediction on
done.
that play.
All right, let's see.
3-time national champion Andy Hayes here with me on this broadcast from the Bill Barnett Pool Deck. We'll be back on Wednesday when Harbor takes on Huntington Beach.
Oh, good.
So we've got a couple games here this week. And, you know, this water polo season being condensed down for the guys and the girls into about 3.5 weeks. So we're going to try to bring you as many games as possible on TarTV after the timeout. Let's see what Ross Sinclair and his coaching staff drew up here.
I might be really off. We don't even have Avery down to the 6. But we did go a 1-in to the 6.
Now they've got it down at the 5 spot. Montiel at the 4. Back to Netherton. Sailors working it around. Shot clock is at 10. Netherton swims in. Gets it over to Guess. A shot blocked by the Wolverines. So you were
wrong.
That's okay. Hey, you know what? That's okay. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Yeah, absolutely. But you know what? When they do what I said, I'll definitely let you know.
Yeah,
whether
please.
It's today or Wednesday. But
all right, here come the Wolverines. Ordinary foul whistled against Netherton. And now a turnover, an offensive foul, going to go against Caitlin Munoz in the 10 cap for the Wolverines. And here come the Sailors on the counterattack. They've been quite successful from the counterattack this afternoon. Giolis has it at the point position. Future USC Trojan, Olivia Giolis. Netherton swims up past the 5-meter line, uncorks a shot, goes right over the goalkeeper's head. And Netherton touches the twine for the second time this afternoon.
Did you come up with that one?
You know, that actually gets credited to Andrew Turner of the Daily Pilot, I believe.
Oh.
I believe that's an Andrew Turner Daily Pilot original.
Wow, yeah.
But I'm working that into my broadcast.
I really like it. I like it a lot.
7-2, by the way. Sailors
Okay,
dominating Wolverines here in the second quarter. 2:49 to go until the proverbial halftime. Not really a halftime. It is a little breather.
Yeah, a little breather. Exactly.
And the Wolverines trying to find the back of the net for the first time this quarter. They've been held out scoreless here in the second. Scored 2 goals in the first. The Sailors lead 7-2. Jordan LaCour swims in from the point position, tries to feed it down to their 2-meter player. Sailors defense smothers. Paige Nagel and Lily Guess are all over that. And here again comes this effective Sailors counterattack. Giolis inside one-on-one with the goalkeeper. A scrum for the ball. And amidst the splashing, the Wolverines do come up with it.
That pass that you make into 2 meters has to be just perfect for it to be a successful one. It's really hard, especially when the defense is crashing back, to be able to adjust to a maybe not the best pass. So good luck, I think, but we could have just had a little bit better of a ball entry on that one.
Well, Ava Magna tried to get a shot off there on offense for the Wolverines. Couldn't do it. Sailors on the counterattack. Sophia Stark has it down at the 5 spot. Tries to feed it over to Lily Guess. Unable to. Good defense by the Wolverines. Wolverines have shown flashes today, but just haven't been able to put it together and keep up with this high-powered Sailors offense.
I mean, it's so hard to, especially when you have a deep bench like Newport does. I mean, it's just relentless. Foot on the gas.
Foot on the gas, all gas, no brakes. And Wolverines able to draw an exclusion, so we'll have a 6-on-5 here. Final 80 seconds of this second quarter. Sailors with a 5-point advantage, 7-2 your score. Right now, Wolverines, one player up. Amber Nowacek has it, gets it over to Juliet O'Brien. Shot clock down to 15, and a nice defensive play there. I believe that was Lily Guess able to get a paw up and keep that thing from even getting to Anna Reed. Turnover, Sailors on the counterattack, final minute of this quarter.
Yeah, right there. Lily did a great job of doing exactly what a defensive player is supposed to do on a 5-on-6.
And here is Lily with it at the one spot. Nice lob pass attempt to Netherton. Just a little too much mustard on that one. Wolverines get the turnover. I could see what they were setting up there. You know, that cross, the 1 to the 5?
That was a 1 to a 45 drive to the 4 position, driving down 2 meters, yes.
Okay. 30 seconds left in this second quarter. Wolverines down by 5. And ordinary foul going to go against the Sailors. So Wolverines will retain possession with 23 seconds on the game clock, 12 on the shot clock. Trying to get it in past the 5-meter line. They do. They have it over at the 1 spot. Or excuse me, that's the 5 spot, isn't it? There, the 8 cap.
Yes. Nice
now
job,
they have
guys.
it at the 1 spot, and defense by Netherton able to force a bad shot. Reed swims over to clean it up and throws a outlet pass down to Lily Guess, swimming in, 5 on the game clock. Uncorks a pass, skip shot in with 3 seconds to go in the quarter. Lily Guess finds pay dirt for the second time today, and the Sailors not just doubling up, now quadrupling the Wolverines score. 8-2 here at the end of the second.
I mean, you just love to see that. That's a great way to end a quarter.
Oh, yeah, you get a turnover with less than 10 seconds to go. Swim down, feed it ahead. Guess uncorks one and finds pay dirt to put the Sailors firmly in control of this game. Looking to bounce back from Saturday's loss to Laguna, 14-8 now. It should be noted, Laguna, the defending CIF D1 national champs. Harvard Westlake, the CIF D2 national champs.
I believe that's what Terrence said.
Yeah, CIF the D2 national champs and Laguna the D1 national champs. Now, Harbor played Laguna in the CIF semifinals. Andy, that was the last Polo game we called before COVID shut things down. February 19th, 2020, Sailors lost to Laguna 9-7. They get a shot at revenge Saturday. They lose 14-8. But you know how bad head coach Ross Sinclair and these girls really do want to get over the hump and beat that Breakers squad.
Oh, yeah. I mean, more than anything, that Breaker squad has just been on a tear these last couple of years. Fun to watch. Be more fun if it was our Sailors.
Sure, yeah. I mean, good. It's good polo, sure. But this is TarTV. We're Sailors faithful, class of 2009. Andy, I see you've got your 2007 CIF champions ring, the last time the Sailors took home a CIF title?
Yeah, that's correct, Alex. 2007, led by Coach Jason Lynch. We had a great squad, Clinton Jorth, Miles Christian, you know all these names.
I mean, yeah, legends. Sailor Polo legends.
Sailor Polo legends. I mean, Clinton Jorth's name is forever engraved on the CIF Player of the Year for 2007. Yeah, that was fun. We had our ups, we had our downs, but ended up with a W.
But what do you think, Andy, what was the difference that allowed you guys to get over that hump and to really put together the complete championship year? What was the X factor for you guys back in 2007?
Oh, we had all been playing. I mean, it's very similar to both the boys and the girls team here, but we had all played with each other since we were about 12 years old. So 12 until about 16, 17. I mean, that's good 5 years of just knowing each other, how people play, what they like. You know, I mean, like, you just can't beat that. And what also helped is that we didn't have a global pandemic tear through our practices or our season. So that one helps too.
Yeah, that always helps. That's helped every year but this previous year.
Yeah. Right?
But man, it feels good to be back on the pool deck.
Oh my goodness, does it. Oh my gosh, I love watching water polo, especially when we're here at the beautiful Bill Barnett pool.
Oh yeah, I mean, look at the views here from the pool deck. A beautiful day for polo. A couple clouds in the sky. Little chill in the air, not too bad. I've asked you this before, but do they heat the pool? What's the temperature like in the pool?
You know, that's a very good question. My roommate, Andy White, he grew up swimming. I never paid attention to the actual temperature. I just knew if it was cold or warm. So he had told me, he filled me in, that a pool is around, I want to say, 75 degrees. I want to say that. But you jump in a 75-degree pool or you jump in the 75-degree ocean, you're going to think the ocean is way warmer than pool, which blows my mind.
Interesting. Why is that? I mean, you're spending a lot of time, Andy, I know, in the ocean. You're a Newport Beach lifeguard. Thank you for your service. Why is that? What's the science behind that?
You know, you're asking the wrong guy if you're inquiring on science.
We might need to go over to, well, gosh, I don't know where the science department is here now. It used to be in the portables over there when we went here, but
That's right.
now I think they have real classrooms. We might have to go knock on, I don't know, Mr. Dukes. Is he still around? Mr. Brazelton? Knock on one of their doors.
I think
ask.
Brazelton is. What about Mr. Smith?
I don't know.
He was my bio teacher.
Okay.
I feel like he would be a good one. Oh, Mr. Johnson, marine science. That's who we'll talk to.
You know who was my biology teacher?
No.
Jason Lynch.
Get out of town.
I know you had him for polo. I got to see a different side of him. Actually, probably the same side, intense, as a biology teacher as well as a water polo coach.
Yeah, you know, I mean, the man is a very passionate individual.
Whether it's mitochondria or 2-meter offense.
Exactly. Hopefully he's listening.
Oh, I really hope he is.
Yeah, well, you know what? We'll make sure that.
We'll make sure he gets this
when we see
link.
him. Yeah,
we'll make sure he gets the link. And he bookmarks it on his homepage. But we do thank everybody who is tuning in and making TarTV a part of their Monday afternoon. It's great to be doing these games. Andy, last season we were doing them just audio only. Just potentially, I don't want to claim pioneers here, but there's not been a lot of radio water polo broadcasts in the history of the sport.
No, there has not. I can tell you with confidence I never listened to a water polo game on the radio.
Yeah, I've never even known of one to exist. So we pioneered that last year. But Principal Sean Bolton, Dr. Jerry Murray, the athletic director here, Ross Sinclair, all the coaches and the staff here, we figured out a way. John Hoist from TarTV and the students, Sydney Griffin producing this, figured out a way to bring live video, TarTV live video broadcasts of water polo and other Newport Harbor athletics events to your living room. So we're extremely excited about that. As for the third time today, the ball is dropped in the pool, and the Sailors come away victorious, up 8-2 here in the third period. Taylor Smith one-on-one with the goalie. So dangerous. Skip shot, and she gets it past the goalkeeper. If you're a goalie and you see Taylor Smith one-on-one, say your prayers, call the priest, have him say the last rites, because you are dead in the water. Smith finds the second goal of the afternoon for her, and the Sailors up by 7, 9-2.
I mean, that's just got to be a terrifying sight for any goalie to see Taylor with the ball. You just know that's probably not going to end your way as a goalie.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, it's terrifying. Wolverines now on the counterattack. Great defense by Netherton. They feed it inside. Swarming to the ball are the Sailors. Alex Love comes away with it, feeds it to Reed. And as much as we've been praising the Sailors' offense, we know head coach Ross Sinclair's got to be stoked about the defense there.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, they got 2 goals in the first quarter. I bet you that was something that was mentioned at halftime was let's keep them to 2 goals.
Smith swimming in with it again, now feeding it inside. Netherton, one-on-one. Powers it through. Morgan Netherton from Taylor Smith. That's a hat trick for Netherton, an assist from Smith, and the Sailors are pouring it on here in the third. 10-2 your score, 5:56 to go in this quarter. What an offensive explosion here today, Andy. They're looking like they could. The 14 points scored against CDM, that season high could be broken today.
Yeah, we might just see that. And, you know, from the last game, CDM, and even against Laguna, right? Newport Harbor's been able to prove that they can score.
Certainly. So many weapons on this team offensively. But it all starts with the defense. And the Wolverines have been held scoreless since the first quarter here. And just like that, right on cue, Sophia Stark comes away with a steal. And the Sailors are on the counterattack. McKaylee Hansberger swimming ahead, one-on-one with the goalie. Here she goes. Oh, and it's knocked out. And that's going to draw a penalty shot, I believe.
Yeah, from my angle, that looked like a pretty good defensive play, getting the ball. Unlike basketball, you can do a little slot machine action on the shooter's arm.
One-on-one. Skip shot by Netherton, and she finds the back of the net. 2 for 3 on penalty shots today is Morgan Netherton, and she nets herself her 4th goal of the afternoon. Sailors lead now 11-2. 5:28 to go in the second. What a showing by this Harper offense today, Andy.
Yeah, it's great. Everybody in the pool is contributing, whether they're getting their goal stats increased or they're just playing in the field. Everybody's contributing on this offensive side.
And you know, in basketball, we talk a lot about what doesn't show up in the stat sheet or the intangibles from certain players. What are those intangibles as Harper's defense comes up with yet another stop, absolutely smothering in this game? What are some of those water polo intangibles, Andy?
You know, if you're swimming a defensive player, making them follow you, occupying that defender is a huge one. I mean, whether you touch the ball the whole game or not, but you're able to draw that defender to you and only you, not help drop back or, you know, crash onto another player, that's a huge intangible. So then it allows, you know, like five defenders basically playing on the front court.
Lob shot by the Wolverines. Juliet O'Brien, the Harvard Westlake senior, lobs it right over the head of Anna Reed. And Harvard Westlake gets on the board for the first time since the first quarter. 11-3 your score, 4:47 to go in the third period as we see mass substitutions for the Sailors. Whole bunch of new caps checking in the game there. It looks like Riley Harrington and Kiara Amoroso are in the game now for the Sailors. Isabel Del Villar all subbing in right now for Newport Harbor. And that is Avery Montiel with it down at the 5 spot. Now back up top, tries to get it to Amoroso. 7 on the shot clock. Sailors got to throw it in, and that was Riley Harrington with her first shot of the game.
That was really good. So, unlike most sports, if the goalie deflects the ball out, it returns back to the offensive team. But if a field player makes that block and the ball goes out of bounds, it is a turnover. So that was a good shot at the end of the shot clock for the goalie to tip it out, and a brand new 30.
Brand new 30 for the Sailors. 4 minutes to go here in the third. Down from the 1 spot, they lob it inside to Giolis from the 2-meter, and she's unable to connect. Goes right into the hands of Tia Pine, the Harvard Westlake goalkeeper. And the Wolverines back on the counter attack, trailing by 8. 11-3 your score with just under 4 minutes to go. Amber now a check, now feeding it inside. Offensive foul. What was that symbol there? If it was kind of a hooking type of thing?
So typically the 2-meter player or somebody posting up will kind of get their arm under the armpit and over the shoulder of the defensive player. That's an easy offensive call.
All right, here come the Sailors. 3:30 to go in the third. A lot of new faces in the pool right now for Newport Harbor.
Ooh.
Smith has it up top. Swarming defense by the Wolverines, and a rare turnover by Taylor Smith and the Newport Harbor Sailors. And they will push it ahead, the Wolverines will, to Juliet O'Brien, who gets a shot off to the left of Anna Reed. O'Brien, back-to-back goals for her, the Harvard Westlake senior. And with 3:14 to go here in the third, your score 11-4 in favor of the Sailors, as we see a bunch of substitutions again for Newport Harbor. Checking out of the pool for them, Harrington, Montiel, Giolis, and Del Villar all checking out for Newport Harbor.
Yeah, you know, that's a pretty, if you just get in and your squad allows 2 consecutive goals, that's a really good way to get a quick breather from Coach Ross right there.
Inside, 2-meter, bar out. Nice shot by Stark. Hits the top crossbar. And the Wolverines will push things ahead on the counterattack. Great defense on the far side of the pool by Alex Love. Wolverines trail by 7. Just under 3 minutes to go here in the third period. And an exclusion, so 6-on-5 opportunity for the Wolverines on the power play. Now a check, feeding it down to the 5-meter player. Inside shot from the 2-meter player is good. That was Juliet O'Brien. The hat trick for her in this period. 3 goals in a row for Juliet O'Brien and the Harvard Westlake Wolverines. 11-5 now your score. And as we talked about Coach Ross and the importance of defense for his program, he cannot be too happy with what's happened in this quarter, Andy.
No, definitely not. I mean, thank goodness that we got a 6-point lead now, but you can't be letting that many goals. Getting sloppy, Alex.
Well, just like that, an offensive foul for the Sailors. Turnover, quick counterattack by Harvard Westlake. Juliet O'Brien been very dangerous with the ball in her hands this quarter. She's got it down in front of us at the one spot. Pump fake shot to the right of the goal. No good. But O'Brien's been on a tear. 3 straight goals for her and the Wolverines. Sailors need to stop the bleeding now and retake claim of momentum in this game.
Ooh. Great pass.
Paige Nagel with it down at the one spot, getting physical with the Westlake defender, and they will get whistled for that. The Sailors will. That is an offensive foul and a turnover.
Those have been killing us. The offensive fouls leading to goals. That's, I think, how Harvard's gotten their last 3.
Inside, O'Brien has it here at the one spot. Back to Button at the 2. They get it to the point. And a long shot by LaCour sails over the top of the goal. Misses everything. Sailors back on offense. What do you do here on offense, Andy, if you want to reclaim possession of momentum in this game?
Slow it down. Use the whole clock. Work for your 2-meter player. If that doesn't happen, take a shot at the end of the clock.
Inside shot, no good. That was Hansberger on the shot, hitting the Harvard Westlake goalkeeper right in the forearm. Final minute of this quarter. It has been a Harvard Westlake dominant quarter, much to the chagrin of Ross Sinclair and his squad. And now an exclusion, so another 6-on-5 power play opportunity for the Wolverines in the final minute of this quarter, down by 6.
Those are killer, Alex.
O'Brien
Absolutely killer.
from the one spot thought about it. No. They get it over to the 5. Back to O'Brien at the 1. She scored 3 goals this quarter. She misses to the right of the cage there. Looks like they're really trying to run their offense through O'Brien. The Wolverines are, Andy.
Yeah. She showed us why in this 3rd quarter.
Netherton swims ahead, and Hansberger can't connect. Just a little too far.
Those are always tough passes to make, trying to time that to hit their strong hand while they're doing backstroke. Technical.
15 seconds. Shot clock is off. Game clock is down to 10 here in the 3rd. Shot. Bar out. No. Wolverines fighting for it. And Sophia Stark able to corral that one and retain possession for the Sailors. As the clock ticks down, 3, 2, 1. Anna Reed lobs one down the length of the goal, almost connected.
Yes.
That would have made Sports Center top 10, at least, and that would have made Alex Crawford Sports Center top 10.
100%.
If Reed had connected there on the cross-pool goal at the end of 3. Sailors still lead, although they took a few punches in that quarter. 11-5, your score at the end of 3. When we come back, we'll have 4th quarter action for you here against Harvard Westlake. Girls water polo right now, boys water polo coming up right after this. So do not touch that dial. We've got 1 quarter left here and then 4 more for the boys. Sailors lead 11-5. You're watching Newport Harbor Girls Water Polo on TarTV. Welcome back into TarTV. Alex Crawford, Andy Hayes with you here live from the Bill Barnett pool deck. 3 quarters down, 1 to go for the girls against the Wolverines. 11-5, your score in favor of the Sailors. What stood out to you thus far in this game, Andy?
Well, Newport's incredible front court defense leading to that transition and then getting goals or opportunities such as 5-meter 6-on-5s out of the transition. I mean, that's Newport's bread and butter. Something that we always train for, train with, and with the lack of training that they've had, they've I mean, it's just been drilled into him by Coach Ross.
I mean, for sure. We talked about this in the Battle of the Bay game last week. Girls beat CDM 14-6, and the boys dominated the Sea Kings as well. But there's some rust to be shaken off. How hard do you think it is to go from nothing to full steam ahead? Here's your season, and we're condensing into 3 weeks. You played water polo, but you guys had, no global pandemic to deal with. How hard is that for this team?
Oh, it's so hard. I mean, the conditioning. You know how to play water polo, but your legs go super fast, and being able to swim up and down the pool is pretty difficult if you haven't done it in 8 months.
And for the 4th time today, 4 straight quarters of opening sprint wins for the Sailors. Also, we have a change. Maddie Swart in the goal now for Newport Harbor, replacing Anna Reed, who gave up 5 goals and had some nice saves. Ahead to Giolis at the 2-meter spot. And that's going to be a penalty shot for Morgan Netherton and the Newport Harbor Sailors. Netherton 2 for 3 on penalty shots today. She has 4 goals in this game.
I mean, that was another just classic front court offense. Work the ball from the righty side.
Shot by Netherton. 3 for 4 for her now on penalty shots. Her 5th goal of the game. And the Sailors lead 12-5 early in the 3rd quarter. 4th quarter. Final quarter.
Final quarter. So that was just a beautiful front court offense by Newport, like using that lefty that they have to their advantage, not only as a shooting threat, but as an incredible passing threat as well.
Defense down at the 5 spot by the Sailors, and coming in, Netherton, after connecting on the penalty shot, gets a takeaway and a steal, denying the pass to Alex Button. Netherton, a two-way player out here for the Sailors. Montiel, the lefty, swimming ahead, has it at the 5 spot. Now back to Netherton at the 4. Giolis at the 3. Down to Smith at the 2. Smith, so dangerous with the ball in her hands. Love swimming in. Sailors working around, everybody getting involved on this possession as the shot clock down to 5. Smith's going to have to uncork one. Back to Love. Last second shot gets in. That's the horn sounds on the shot clock. Alex Love gets her 2nd goal of the afternoon and adds to the Sailors' lead. 13-5. Newport Harbor leads with 5:50 to go here in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good Hail Mary and got the lucky deflect off of the defender's hand. A goal's a goal. We love that.
They really used every single second and millisecond of the shot clock on that one.
Yeah, use the clock. Just burn time.
More great defense by Netherton and another steal for her. The Wolverines unable to do anything with Morgan Netherton swarming to the ball. And here she comes on the counterattack on the near side of the pool. Inside of the 2-meter player, that's Taylor Smith. One-on-one with the goalie. Nice save by Lena Bagley. Like we talked about, when you're one-on-one with Taylor Smith and you're a goalkeeper, say your prayers. Bagley, that time, had her prayers answered.
Yeah, that was good. I mean, that was good defense by Harvard Westlake to be on Taylor's back but not earn the exclusion. Hands up, just playing her, making her finish, allowing Lena to come out and really close that angle and not really give Taylor too much. Doesn't matter how good of a shooter you are, it's kind of hard to blow a ball through someone.
Well, if anyone could do it, Taylor Smith might leave, a nice round water polo-sized hole in the goalkeeper. That's the kind of arm strength that we've seen from her, Andy, the rocket launcher.
Oh, yeah. I mean, some of her bar downs, the goal is juggling. It kind of gets my head hurting,
Oh, I can only imagine.
Oh, boy.
I would not want to be in the cage. First of all, as a water polo novice myself, I can only imagine the exhaustion now in the 4th quarter. I know they're in good swimming shape, but my goodness. It's got to be tough out there.
Oh, yeah. I mean, let's see when the next goal is, because if you don't score a goal instead of a timeout, you're not getting a lot of rest. And, they are in good swimming shape, but it's not the shape that they wish they were in, to no fault of their own.
No, for sure. This little COVID-19 pandemic may have had something to do with that.
It's quite a doozy.
It has, yeah.
My goodness.
Certainly shaking things up on a global, national, and local level. Wolverines, after the timeout, down by 8, 5 minutes to go in this game. Sailors lead 13-5. Harvard Westlake trying to feed it down to their 2-meter player. They earn an exclusion, so a 6-on-5 opportunity for Harvard Westlake on the 22nd power play. Amber Nowacek has it now down to the 1 spot. O'Brien, she's been great with it today. Over to Savannah Schaub. Wolverines trying to get their best look. O'Brien, bar out, no good. Swart comes away with it in the goal now, replacing Anna Reed. And she feeds it to Lily Guess coming out of the penalty box.
That's always a safe pass. Whenever you got your offensive player coming even, just throw it in the corner. No defender around. Safe, easy pass to make.
Lily Guess with it at the point position. Uncorks a shot and scores. Lily Guess with the hat trick. Took that one coast to coast. Came out of the penalty box. Swam down to the 2-meter line and found pay dirt. Sailors lead 14-5, 4:27 to go in the game.
Yeah, I mean, that was I don't know if anybody was able to hear. We definitely could. Coach Ross telling Lily, go in, attack. He knew that was her shot. You deserve to get that stat, get the goal after putting in all the hard work on the defensive end.
Looking down our stat sheet here, whole lot of Sailors touching the twine this afternoon. Taylor Smith with 2 goals, Morgan Netherton with 5, Avery Montiel with 2, a hat trick for Lily Guess, and 2 goals for Alex Love. That's how the Sailors got 14. They lead Harvard Westlake 14-5 with 4 minutes to go in this game. Wolverines on the counterattack. Shot saved by Swart. That was Amber Nowacek uncorking it. And Swart was there to get a mitt on it. Looking like a catcher in baseball. Right place, right time, comes away with the save. And Sailors counter-attacking quickly. Giolis, the future USC Trojan, swimming in with a right hand. Pump fake, feeds inside, spin around, shot, bar out. Nice shot attempt by McKaylee Hansberger. I do like that play, Andy.
Yeah, what was great was Olivia was paying it forward. That's usually what the plays that her teammates make for her in 2 meters, being able to give her 2-meter player the same kind of love. Unfortunately, just a bit outside. Little bar out there.
Now, here is an attempt by the Wolverines. I think Netherton was able to affect that shot. Either way, Swart, easy money for her to come away with that. Pushes it ahead to Netherton, who looks up for Harrington. A lot of substitutions in the game, by the way. Now for the Sailors, we'll try to let you know who subbed in as Harrington. Dumps it down inside. Double team coming from the Wolverines, able to force the turnover. That was McKaylee Hansberger with it at the 2-meter spot. And a timeout by Harvard Westlake head coach Matt Kubicek. And assistant coach Bella Gonzalez. They will draw something up here. Now, as Harvard Westlake takes a timeout with the ball on offense, and if you're head coach Ross Sinclair and his staff, what are you telling the Sailors when you have this timeout? You just tell them to catch their breath? You trying to draw up a play defensively? Are there defensive plays in water polo?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's a lot of drops or a zone, similar to basketball, right, all focused around that 2-meter player. The most basic and what Newport's been doing is a 4 or 5 drop. So the 2 players, I believe, Harvard doesn't have any lefties, so it's righties at a bad angle. So they'll drop from those, forcing the ball to either 4 or 5, and then Newport's going to want the ball to get down to the 5 position. Will be fronted at 2 meters, denying the pass into 2 meters. Have to work the ball all the way back around to be able to get it in.
This whole time the clock is running.
Whole time clock's running, and we're no foul. And then once the ball gets to 5, we press out, bearing the ball, not allowing an ordinary foul to stop the clock or somebody to drive. And you just milk the clock.
Let's see what the Sailors show here defensively after the timeout by Kubicek and Gonzalez, your coaches for Harvard Westlake. Stick around after the completion of this game. Andy and I will take a quick breather, but then we will have boys with a huge rematch of the CIF championship from the last 2 seasons against the Harvard Westlake Wolverines. I am juiced for that game, Andy.
So fired up, Alex.
And Westlake able to draw an exclusion. They'll have a 6-on-5 opportunity here inside of 3 minutes to go in this game, down by 9. Sailors lead 14-5. An errant pass chased down by Munoz on the far side of the pool. Swimming inside, getting a shot off, and Swart is there to get her paw on it and keep it out of the back of the cage. Sailors on the counterattack. Swart to Harrington, and here comes Newport Harbor.
All right, let's see what we can make out of this counterattack.
Netherton down at the 5 spot. Cross pool pass over to Hansberger at the 2. Giolis, shot clock's at 8. Shot clock down to 5. Netherton, one-on-one with the goalkeeper. She finds pay dirt. Morgan Netherton, her 6th goal of the day. She had 3 against CDM. She's got 6 tonight. She's been so prolific, Andy. And Sailors lead 15-5, 2:09 to go. Morgan Netherton showing out, showing off. and blowing by the Harvard Westlake defenders in this third game of the season.
Yeah, that was a gutsy choice of shot placement, but it paid off. A little bunny. Call it a bunny because you kind of look like a bunny rabbit with your hands up. Anyways, and able to get that over the goalie's head, so that was awesome. Good on Morgan.
2 minutes left in this game. Sailors lead by 10, 15-5. Besting their 14-point season-high scoring. They put up 14 against CDM last Thursday, and they've got 15 here this afternoon. You love it. We're going to get a penalty shot from the Wolverines. Juliette O'Brien connecting for the 4th time today. She's got 4 goals out of the 6 for Harvard Westlake. And on the penalty shot, they cut Harbor's lead to single digits. It's 15-6 in favor of the Sailors.
You know, you don't need to earn a 5-meter with 2 minutes left in the game. Just play smart defense, force a normal shot, but this is where we are.
Isabel Del Villar corks one. The goalie has to sky for it. Out of bounds, it'll go. Possession retained by Newport Harbor. 1:41 in this game remaining, and the Sailors up by 9.
So something to think about is we got a 30-second shot clock, about, we'll say, a minute 30. That gives us 3 possessions left in the game. Coach Lynch would always tell us that. So if Newport, since they started with it now, burned 30 here, 1 more possession, and then they get the last 30. Boom. 5-meter.
And the Sailors earn themselves another penalty shot. Morgan Netherton has taken all of them for Newport Harbor today. She's not in the pool right now, so Taylor Smith will get a shot at this one.
Where do you think Taylor's going to put it?
I'm going to go
Your prediction.
high right. Oh, and she goes right down the pipe. The goalkeeper was there, but I guess they're going to say that got in?
It looks like it. They're counting that as a goal.
The goalkeeper, Lena Bagley for Harvard Westlake, did not like that. Can't blame her. And Smith with the hat trick now. 11 goals this season coming into the game for Taylor Smith. She now has 14. So averaging nearly 5 goals a game is the number 2 cap for Newport Harbor. Just over a minute to go, and the Sailors are up by 10, 16-6.
Good. Nice defense by Lily.
Oh, Lily Guess all over Juliette O'Brien, making her life miserable down there at the 2-meter position. Sailors on the counterattack. 1 minute left in this game. That's Amoroso with it down at the 5 spot. Ordinary foul.
Ejection.
An ejection, so an exclusion. Power play opportunity for the Sailors in the final minute. Lily Guess has it. Inside 2-meter player.
Nice.
Shot is good. Sophia Stark with her first goal of the day. The alley-oop. I don't know if they use that term in water polo. Do they?
Oh, most definitely.
Oh, well, that's the alley-oop. The assist from Alex Love. Finding Sophia Stark on an absolutely beautiful goal here in the final minute. And the Sailors have dropped 17 on Harvard Westlake. What a showing for Ross Sinclair's squad offensively here today.
Yes, absolutely. 17 goals. That's a lot of points on the board.
35 seconds to go in our varsity girls matchup from the Bill Barnett pool deck. Newport Harbor leads 17-6. Shot misses everything. And with the shot clock off, it will be the Sailors' final possession of the afternoon. Trying to add to their 17-point total. Montiel, the lefty, has it, trying to feed it inside. A fight for the ball. Hansberger unable to come up with it, but Montiel darting over to the ball, able to come away with it. Gets it inside, a shot, and a goal. Paige Nagel gets on the board as well. It's an offensive party for the Sailors this afternoon. 18 on the board for them. They lead 18-6, 4 seconds to go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different Sailors touching the twine this afternoon.
That's awesome. That might be my favorite stat right there. 6 different players on the board.
And that's it. That does it. That's all she wrote. 18-6. Your final. Sailors win over Harvard Westlake. Move to 2-1 on the year. Bounce back from Saturday's loss to Laguna and set their season high. I know it's a short season, but still, season high 18 points in this game, tripling up the Harvard Westlake Wolverines. We'll tell you how they got there. Morgan Netherton had 6 on the afternoon. Taylor Smith with 3. Avery Montiel with a pair. Lily Guess had the hat trick. Paige Nagel got involved, and Alex Love had 2. Sophia Stark had 1 as well. I hope I didn't leave her out. So many goals, it's hard to keep track.
Yeah,
really, I mean, 18. Andy, the last game that we announced for the Sailors last season, 9-7 was the score in favor of Laguna Beach. So you come out here today, and the Sailors score 18, 24 total goals in this game. What an offensive explosion. That was really fun to watch.
Oh,
we're still on air, Andy.
Oh, excuse me there, Alex. I was so engaged in your storytelling abilities.
Oh yeah, no, I was just saying, wow, what a treat offensively.
Yeah, I mean, we watch for the offense, right? I mean, myself as a water polo fan, I like to watch the defense, but I mean, your average viewer is all about the scores, right? That's
sure.
like why you watch sports.
Sure. Well, I know Ross Sinclair and his coaching staff would say they watch for the defense, but here, me, a water polo novice, a water polo newcomer, I just want to see the ball go to the back of the net as many times as possible. And, Andy, we're in a shortened season. So we're not going to get as many games or as many opportunities for goals to be scored as we normally would. So it's really nice to come out and have a game where a team scores 18, and that team is the Sailors. Because if Harvard Westlake scored 18, shoot, I might catch the train back home and not stick around for the boys' game. I'd be so dejected.
Yeah.
Because that'd be so uncharacteristic of Coach Ross's squad.
Yeah. They definitely put on a show for us. I know that he's going to be emphasizing the defense. I mean, what was that? 8 goals against? 6 goals?
6 goals against. Yeah.
Yeah. The typical threshold is 1 goal per game. That's a really good defensive game. So.
A little bit over the threshold of what we wanted.
I mean, but still, 6 goals allowed. That is when you're putting up 18. Can't compete with that. So, good all-around game by Newport Harbor.
Again, your final: Newport Harbor 18, Harvard Westlake 6. Sailors with a season-high 18 goals, 6 of those coming from Morgan Netherton. A hat trick from Taylor Smith. She's got 14 goals on the season, by the way. A hat trick from Lily Guess. A pair of goals from Avery Montiel and Alex Love. Paige Nagel finding pay dirt once, and Sophia Stark getting in there as well for Newport Harbor. Sailors move to 2-1. Harvard Westlake drops to 1-3. They beat Miracosta to open the season. They're now on a 3-game losing streak. But keep in mind, Harvard Westlake, no slouches. Even though they're 1-3, they are reigning Division II CIF champs. So this was a meaningful game.
Yeah, absolutely. And everybody's looking at this as a way to get better.
All right, well, that does it here from the Bill Barnett pool deck. We'll be back in just a few minutes not a few minutes, probably about 15. But at 5:30, we're going to have boys trying to avenge their CIF championship losses from 2019 and 2018 against Harvard Westlake Wolverines. So, Andy, we'll be right back from the pool deck. Don't touch that dial. TarTV coming to you live in just a few. Well, I'm excited. I'm going to get a glass of water, and I'm excited for that final game.
Yeah, me too. Same.
Awesome. We'll be right back. You are watching Newport Harbor Water Polo on TarTV. Bienvenidos, aloha, welcome into TarTV. Alex Crawford, Andy Hayes with you here live from the Bill Barnett pool deck. It is a beautiful evening for some water polo, and we have an absolutely huge matchup getting ready in front of us. The Newport Harbor boys taking on the Wolverines of Harvard Westlake, a rematch not just of last year's CIF championship game, but the previous seasons as well. Back-to-back trips for CIF finals for the Newport Harbor boys, back-to-back losses to the Harvard Westlake Wolverines. Very excited. A lot at stake. Andy, I can't wait for this game here in front of us.
Me either. And you saying that about the two back-to-back losses in CIF finals to the Wolverines, you know that every single fella in the pool right now remembers that. So it's going to be good water polo. Harvard always has a good team, always brings a tough competition to our pool deck. And then Newport is – these boys, they're solid, and they're ready. They're chomping on the bit to play a proper game.
Joining us here on the TarTV pregame show, the man who knows more about Newport Harbor athletics than anyone in the world, Taryn Rodriguez. Taryn, what's got you excited about our matchup here tonight?
Well, this is obviously a rematch between two very
Oh, you know what, Taryn? Let me make sure your mic's on there. Now you're good. Taryn Rodriguez. That's on me. That's my bad.
All right, so this is obviously a rematch between two very talented teams. One being the talented team from Los Angeles, and the other being the talented team from Orange County. Newport Harbor and Harvard Westlake always put on a great show. Ross Sinclair and Brian Flax are two masterminds when it comes to putting together a full four-quarter game. As, to me, I think the key for this matchup is going to be who gets the early momentum. It seems like whenever these two face off against one another, and whoever scores the first goal always seems to have a leg up going forward. It's happened in the SoCal regional games. It happened in the CIF Southern Section final. It happened in pretty much every non-league, non-playoff game that happened. And I think it's going to happen today.
That's great insight, Taryn. My goodness, that's pretty on it. I think that's great. I mean, we've been commenting on how Newport's been able to win the sprints in most of their games and most of the sprints so far. How do you think the matchup against just starting off the game with the ball drop, how do you think the Sailors look?
Well, it's going to be a different meeting than the last two, because last time these two teams met, they had a lot of more notable seniors that are now playing in college. So it's going to be a little bit of a different feel. I think this is basically going to be the championship match right here for the mindset for both of these teams, because there's obviously going to be no CIF playoffs, but this is pretty much would be the dream matchup, barring anyone else's opinion or anything else like that. But I think it's going to be a great game. Both of these clubs are very superior in Southern California, and I think both of these teams are just going to be raring to go. And like I said, Flax and Ross are good friends off the field, but when it comes to the pool deck and when it comes to game time, that's when everything gets like locked and loaded, and basically it's on like Donkey Kong.
Taryn, I hate to put you on the spot like this because I didn't tell you I was going to ask you, but can we get a prediction? Can we get a prediction for this evening's big game? Like you said, this is effectively the CIF championship. No CIF due to COVID, so we're getting this game right here in front of us. Can I ask you for a prediction here this evening?
Well, when it comes to like non-tournament games or non-playoff games, Newport most likely wins that. Like last year when they played at Harvard Westlake, Newport won that. The year before, Newport won that. I think the third year is going to be the charm as well, and the year before, obviously. But I think Newport wins this one. It's going to be close, though, because you don't beat Harvard Westlake that easily. You basically have to, like, play all four quarters. You have to press them all game long, and you basically can't make anything easy on them. So overall, I'm going to say Newport wins 12-10.
I like that prediction, Taryn. I have a question, one last question for you from me. You always say, and I love this saying, that Coach Ross plays chess while all the others play checkers. From your description of the Harvard team right now, does Coach Flax play chess or checkers?
He plays chess.
Okay, all right. Here we
He's a
go.
chess master. Taryn Rodriguez, the man who knows more about Sailors athletics than any other human being on planet Earth. Thanks for joining us, Taryn. We'll catch up with you at some point later on today.
Of
Thank
course.
you so
Thank
much
you for having me.
Awesome. Go Sailors, indeed. Taryn Rodriguez, one of our fellow Sailor alum, covers the team Follow him on social media. He will keep you tapped in, locked and loaded. Speaking of locked and loaded, these Sailor boys are getting their caps on and getting ready for tonight's matchup. Taryn with a great point there. We don't have CIF this year, Andy.
Yes.
So this game here in front of us is a rematch of the 2018 and the 2019 Boys CIF Championship. This is effectively our CIF Championship here today. Harvard Westlake won both those games. Sailors seeking revenge. They actually played 4 times last season. Sailors lone win. They only won one of those 4. Their lone win came on October 12th, 2019, an 11-9 win at Harvard Westlake. And in the last 2 CIF championship games, Harvard Westlake, their defense predicated their victories, held the Sailors both times to a season low in points. So, multiple monkeys for the Sailors to get off their back in the pool this evening.
Yeah, and from the 2 games that the boys have already had with a 28-5 win, averaging 14 and a half goals per game.
Oh, my goodness, pouring it on.
I mean, so obviously we got the offensive talent. I think they're going to put it to play today. It's like you said, it's going to be the defense. Can we eliminate front court goals? Can we stop getting ejections? Be solid in transition, and if we can do that and minimize this offensively talented Harvard team, I think the Sailors have a very, very good chance.
Now, Andy, I want you to hold this up for our viewers on TarTV. Show them that ring. 2007 CIF Championship ring. Andy, that was the last Sailors CIF Championship squad.
Yeah.
I asked you this earlier during the girls' game. Shout out to the ladies, by the way. A dominating performance. 18-6. They beat Harvard Westlake earlier on International Women's Day. So really getting it done in the pool.
That's awesome.
And I wanted to ask you what was the difference maker for your team to get over the hump? For the Sailors, back-to-back trips to CIF, weren't able to come away with a ring. What was the difference for your team in 2007, the last time the Sailor boys won a championship?
Well, I think a big contributing factor, I mean, we had all played with each other for about 6 years up until that 2007 season. But we had a few guys, Clinton Jorth, one of them, who is on our 2005 CIF losing team. So we had players who had made it to the finals, put in the work, and felt what a loss felt like. I mean, we have people in this pool who have 2 of those. So that there's nothing more than what that Eli Lathy and the other seniors on the team want to do than to put it to the Wolverines today.
As you mentioned earlier, Andy, boys coming in 2-0 on the season. Harvard Westlake 2-0 as well. The Sailors average 14.5 goals per game. Defense giving up just 7 a game. Very similar numbers over on the Harvard Westlake side. Offense averaging 15.5 goals a game. Defense giving up 7.5. So 2 teams, very similar stories on this shortened season. As we get the ball drop underway, and we're ready for a huge game here tonight from the Bill Barnett pool deck. Thank you to everyone who's tuned in and joining us on TarTV. And the Sailors win the opening sprint. It's been a hot start for the Sailors in their 2 games this season against CDM to open the year on Thursday and against Laguna on Saturday. Sailors will need a hot start, as Taryn Rodriguez told us pregame, to come away with the victory here today against the Wolverines. They have it down to the 1 spot. And the Sailors, did they earn an exclusion there?
Sure did. Eli Lathy in the 2-meter.
Peter Clark feeds it down to Lathy at the 5 spot. Now back to the 4. Pump fake. Back up to Clark. Working it around on the power play. Back to Lathy at the 5 position. Clark uncorks one, and it's blocked by Harvard Westlake, and then a Sailors goal. That was Finn LeSueur with the number 9 cap to draw first blood for the Sailors. 6:20 to go in this game. Newport Harbor leads 1-0 over the Harvard Westlake Wolverines.
I mean, that was a great job by Finn, being able to maintain that inside offensive position, and the ball landed in the perfect spot, able to get that, what we call a garbage goal, but nothing garbage about it.
Well, he's the garbage man, cleaning it up and finding pay dirt. 1 goal for Finn LeSueur, 1 goal for the Newport Harbor Sailors. As we get our first looks today at this Harvard Westlake attack, so prolific, back-to-back CIF championships for them. And they trail 1-0 early in this game.
Good.
That was Shea Gilliern, the only senior to score a goal in the CIF championship last year back on this team. So as Taryn told us pregame, a lot of guys graduated. Gilliern, the one returning goal scorer, he misses, and here come the Sailors on the counterattack. Peter Clark with it at the point position. Gets it over to LeSueur. Now Lathy's got it. Back to Clark. Shot clock single digits. Feed it inside to the 2-meter player. No. Westlake defense collapsing, forcing the turnover. And here come the Wolverines. Who do we have in goal? Is that Cooper Mathisrud?
Yes,
right
it
now?
is. Yes, it is.
Mathisrud in the goal for the Sailors. Elevating out and coming away with the takeaway. Good defense there by Peter Clark and Ben Lathy for Newport Harbor. The Lathy bros getting things done. Ben, the younger Lathy, with it, number 13 cap. And a turnover there.
Eli called for the offensive in 2 meters. I don't know about that. But the official had a better eye on it than me.
1-0, Sailors lead. Under 5 minutes to go here in the first, and the Sailors with a takeaway. Finn Lesueur swimming one-on-one with the goalkeeper. Skying for it, trying to throw a lob shot over the goalkeeper's head. He gets it in. Finn Lesueur. Back-to-back goals for him, and the Sailors are up 2-0. That's Finn Gentz, correction. Finn Gentz. Couple of Finns in the pool.
Yes, there are. Wow. Right on. There you go, Finn.
Okay, Finn Gentz with the goal. So Sailors lead 2-0 with 4:37 to go here in the first.
So we just went 6 for 6. So we got 6 brand new bodies in the pool for Newport Harbor.
Westlake getting it down into the one spot. That's Gilliern, the senior. Defended tightly. Shot, saved by Mathisrud. Right place, right time. Pitching a shutout early in this game. 4 minutes to go in the first. Sailors lead 2-0 over the defending CIF champion, Harvard Westlake Wolverines. They get it down to Vertigal at the 5 spot, wearing cap number 5. Now up top, letting it fly, Richie Rimlinger.
Richie Rimlinger.
Finding pay dirt, touching the twine, and the Sailors up 3-0, 3:55 to go in the first.
He comes from a long line of Newport Harbor Sailors, starting with his brother Nick, who's playing at LMU with their other brother, Johnny.
And I know his parents, Tori and Renee.
Yes.
Big Newport Harbor water polo supporters.
Absolutely.
Here come the Sailors on the counterattack. Borgreave has it on the far side of the pool, uncorks one and finds the back of the net. 4-0, Newport Harbor coming out, putting their foot on the gas, all gas, no brakes for the Sailors. They have struck not once, not twice, not thrice, 4 times here in the first 4 minutes of this game. Andy, you couldn't ask for a better start from head coach Ross Sinclair's squad.
No, absolutely not, but we got to stay in the present, right? It's 0-0 until that 4th quarter's over, so let's hopefully we don't get caught up in that score differential.
Westlake now, pressure defense by Harbor, absolutely swarming to the ball. They feed it inside of their 2-meter player. Mathisrud swims out of the goal and takes it away. Heady play by the sophomore goalkeeper, Cooper Mathisrud. Sailors on the counterattack, leading 4-0 with 3 minutes to go here in the first quarter. They get it down to cap number 5 at the 5 spot. Gets Gage Vertigal, the junior, on the junior national team. Peter Clark has it at the point. Now over to Billy Rankin. They get it down at the 1 spot. Shot blocked by the defender. Back to the Sailors. Billy Rankin with it. Feeding it inside to the 2-meter player. A fight for the ball, and the Wolverines come away with it.
Yeah, I think that pass was just a little bit too far away for the 2-meter offensive player to really make a good move. I like the thought.
Wolverines now with the advantage, 6-on-5.
Richie Rimlinger.
Richie Rimlinger getting excluded. Power play opportunity for Harvard Westlake, down 4-0 with 2:25 to go here in the first. They get it back to their point player. That's Shea Gilliern, the senior. Lets one fly. Misses. Sailors back on the counterattack. Mathisrud swimming out of the goal. Looking to feed it ahead to one of his teammates. He does. He gets that to Cole Borgreave, the junior. Now down at the 5 spot. That's Finn Gentz with it. Wolverines defense collapses. Peter Clark unable to do anything, and Harvard Westlake gets a takeaway inside of 2 minutes. They trail by 4. Sailors with an offensive explosion to start this game.
Yeah, they still got it. I mean, Billy Rankin did a great job getting open on that drive. So we're still creating the opportunities. Just got to get that finish.
Oh, and a 5-meter call. That will be a penalty shot.
No.
Oh.
We got an exclusion. Number 10 is
Okay.
ejected. Gus Oding.
Okay, power play here for Harvard Westlake. Gus Oding swims to the penalty box. 6-on-5 opportunity for the Wolverines, looking for their first goal of the evening. 90 seconds to go in the first quarter. Sailors defense playing rock solid right now. Inside shot. Saved by Mathisrud. Bar down, and Mathisrud comes away with it. Point blank range. Pitching a shutout here through the first 6 minutes of the game. Impressive against this high-powered Harvard Westlake offense. Trying to feed it inside of the 2-meter man. A fight for the ball, and Baxter Chelsom, the goalkeeper for Harvard Westlake, comes away with it. Here come the Wolverines. On the counterattack, less than 1 minute to go in the first quarter. Sailors lead 4-0.
Just got to finish this quarter out strong here, Alex. Let's keep that shutout.
Shot from the 5 spot, saved by Mathisrud. As good as this Harbor offense has been in the first quarter, Mathisrud playing incredible, lights out, unconscious in the goal right now for the Sailors.
Oh, yeah. His teammates are doing a good job helping him out, too. But he's really made some solid stops.
Final 15 seconds of this opening quarter. Sailors with possession. 6-second differential. Shot clock and game clock. Shot clock down to 2. Sailors just got to throw up a Hail Mary, and it's tipped out by the goalkeeper. So with 5 seconds to go, Sailors will retain possession. That was
Cole Borgreave.
Borgreave with, a nice shot at the end of the shot clock. 5 seconds to go. Harbor will retain possession. Billy Rankin has it. He loses it, and a cross-pool pass falls short of the goal. Mathisrud was there, and at the end of 1, the Sailors lead 4-0. What an opening quarter for Newport Harbor, Andy.
Oh, yeah, it's been awesome, exciting. Definitely feeling the CIF final type energy in the pool right now, Alex.
So at the end of 1, Sailors lead 4-0 over Harvard Westlake. We will have second quarter action for you when we come back. Going to take a quick breather, catch our breath after that offensive explosion. I'm winded just watching these guys swim back and forth in the pool, Andy. And so we'll catch our breath when we come back. Second quarter action. Sailors lead the Harvard Westlake Wolverines 4-0 at the end of 1. You're watching Newport Harbor Boys Water Polo on TarTV. Welcome back into TarTV. Alex Crawford, Andy Hayes with you here from Newport Harbor High School, the Bill Barnett pool deck, as we head into the second quarter of this unofficial CIF championship game between the Newport Harbor Sailors and Harvard Westlake. The Sailors lead 4-0. 2 goals by Finn Gentz, wearing the number 9 cap. 1 goal from the junior Richie Rimlinger, and 1 goal from the junior Cole Borgreave. That's how the Sailors lead 4-0. Opening sprint of the second quarter is won again by the Sailors. The Sailor ladies won their 4 opening sprints of the game, and the Sailor boys have won their 2. So nice to have the advantage there
Yeah,
Andy.
definitely starting off the offense.
Pressure defense there by Harvard Westlake, all up in the grill of Peter Clark. And that'll wind the shot clock all the way down to 10 before Sailors are able to cross mid-pool. They get it down in the 5 spot. That's Mason Hunt with it. And a turnover, a really strong defensive possession there by Harvard Westlake, coming out, cranking up the intensity meter a notch to open up the second quarter.
Yeah, you saw what the effectiveness of a full-out press can do to milk that shot clock. Here we go with Mason Hunt with the steal.
Mason Hunt with the steal, trying to swim in past the 5-meter line. And he draws an exclusion, so a 6-on-5 power play opportunity now for the Sailors. First minute of the second quarter, Harbor up 4-0. They've got the advantage here. Eric DeSund now down to the 5 spot. That's Ben Lathy with it. Back up to DeSund, working it around on the advantage. DeSund has it at the point position, swims in, thought about a shot, no. And now the Sailors will uncork. A skip shot goes right into the chest of the Harvard Westlake goalkeeper. And on the counterattack, I believe the Wolverines were able to earn an exclusion there, so they'll have a power play coming the other way.
Back in my SC days, if you got an ejection in the transition, that was 100s the following day.
Oh, my goodness.
Only had to do it once.
Inside to the 2-meter player, a fight for the ball. And what's the call here, Andy?
5-meter, that was a great pass by the Wolverines into the person with the inside advantage. Just put the ball in the right place. That's a 5-meter penalty shot.
That's a penalty shot. It will be the senior, Shea Gilliern, who had 1 goal against the Sailors in CIF finals, CIF championship game last week. Shot skips to the left of Mathis Rude in the goal, and so the Wolverines on the board for the first time today. 4-1, your score in favor of Newport Harbor. 5:29 to go in the second.
Yeah, that's just you can't, as long as we keep making stops, that's not the kind of thing you want to give Harvard Westlake as any kind of breath of potential success.
Lathy swims ahead with it around the 5-meter mark. Now gets it over to Mason Hunt on the far side of the pool. Trying to feed it ahead, back to Lathy. Skies out of the pool with a pump fake, trying to get it down into Peter Clark at the 2 spot, turnover. Wolverines coming the other way with it, trailing by 3.
Eli Lathy.
Another exclusion in the transition for Harvard Westlake. They got a goal their last time down on a penalty shot. They have a 6-on-5 advantage here. They work it around between the 4 and the 5 spot, looking to feed inside to the 2-meter man. 6-5 advantage for the Wolverines. Sailors got to play that bamboo defense. Bend, don't break. Mathis Rude.
And we're even.
Able to get a forearm on it. You see we're at full strength now for the Sailors. 4:34 to go in the second quarter. Sailors lead by 3, 4-1.
Quick little check on the clock. Make sure we're all sorted. All right, so what just happened there, what Coach Ross doesn't like very much, is that the offensive player on Harvard Westlake made the ball live, meaning you're ready to play. You don't have to. You can now press, because in an ordinary foul, you have to give them a reasonable amount of time to make a decision. If they make it live, you can now press. They said that was too early. Exclusion.
Coach Ross did not like that one, earning the exclusion. Sailors 6-on-5. Nice defense by Harbor. Now we're back at full strength. 6-on-6. No advantage for the Wolverines. Shot clock is reset. They get it into their 2-meter player. Shot goes right over the head of Mathis Rude and gets in the goal. Number 3, Jeff Koretz, the sophomore for Harvard Westlake, finds pay dirt. 4-2 now. Sailors lead. It's been a 2-0 run for Harvard Westlake here in this second period. 3:59 to go until halftime.
Yeah, see, right? Started off with that 5-meter penalty, an easy gimme to the Wolverines, and now it looks they know that they can breathe a little bit. So Newport's got to tighten up that defense and execute on the offensive side.
All right, here come the Sailors on the counter attack. 4-2, they lead. Just under 4 minutes to go in the second quarter. 4-0 at the end of 1. Wolverines scoring 2 here in the second period. That is Gus Oding with it on the near side of the pool, trying to feed it inside. Lots of contact down to the 2-meter position. Coach Ross Sinclair not happy with it. Wolverines swimming quickly ahead.
He felt like, I mean, I agree with Coach Ross on that one. If you're going to call that offensive that exclusion down here against us, you got to make that call on the other side.
Wolverines, shot clock down to single digits, feeding it down at the 5 spot. Now back to the 4. Shot too high. Missing. And what's a call there from the officials, Andy?
The goalie tipped it out, meaning
Okay,
it's
so
a new
a tip
30
out.
for the Wolverines. Yes.
So possession retained by
Cooper. By Harvard Westlake. Harvard Westlake's working the double post up right now.
Shot.
There we go.
Saved. Off the Harbor defender. Sailors on the counterattack. Less than 3 minutes to go here in this quarter, up 4-2. Feeding it ahead, pass too long. That was intended for Billy Rankin, and it ends up in the hands of Baxter Chelsom, the Harvard Westlake goalkeeper. Now the Wolverines on the counterattack. They have it down at the 5 spot. Jeff Koretz with 1 goal here today. He's got the ball, and it's taken away by the Sailors.
Good
Gage
help.
Vertigal coming in to help out. That was also Richie Rimlinger.
And Sam Allen.
And Sam Allen, a trio of Harbor defenders there, pressuring, collapsing. Sailors on the counterattack. They push it ahead to Gus Oding on the far side of the pool, trying to feed it inside. And an offensive foul call against Newport Harbor and Sam Allen. A turnover with just over 2 minutes to go in the quarter.
Yeah, again, I think Newport might have had a potential for a 5-meter penalty. Somebody grabbing Sam Allen's arm before he got the ball, like a pass interference in football, but we didn't get it.
So that is Dean Strausser with it. Back up top to Shea Gilliard. Wolverines struggling to get it inside the 5-meter line. Shot clock down to 5 seconds. Less than 2 minutes to go here in the quarter. They're going to have to uncork a Hail Mary. They do. Bar out off the top of the cage. And Mathisrud swims ahead.
That was good defense by Harbor, forcing that shot.
90 seconds to go in the quarter. Sailors lead by 2. As Mathisrud feeds it ahead to Billy Rankin. Now they're trying to get it inside again. They're unable to do so. Richard Rimlinger was at the 2-meter spot for the Sailors, and the Wolverines deny that one. I'd say the defense of the Wolverines has kicked up a hair here in the second, Andy.
Yes, it has. They warmed up in that first quarter, it looks like.
Jeff Koretz one-on-one with the goalkeeper. Sailors defense collapses. Bunch of Blue Caps get in there to force the turnover. And just as I talked about the Wolverines' defensive intensity turning up, the Sailors match that, and they'll be on the counterattack. Final minute of this quarter, up by 2.
Nice.
Billy Rankin with a shot and a
Billy.
goal.
Big goal by Billy Rankin right there. That's what the Sailors needed. Allows them to get a goal advantage and take a bit of a break. They've been swimming back and forth for quite some time.
It really felt like Harvard Westlake had seized the momentum there in that quarter, scoring 2 unanswered goals, cutting into Harbor's 4-0 lead, and Billy Rankin silences that. Got a much-needed goal. Sailors lead 5-2, just under 1 minute to go here in the second.
Oh, and Alex, I noticed you're wearing a beautiful new Newport Harbor polo, courtesy of Billy's mother, Shelly, and the Newport Harbor, whole team here.
Well, we appreciate it. Yeah, I'm thrilled. I'm overjoyed with my new Newport Harbor water polo that I'm getting to wear today, and some other awesome polo gear. As we have the Wolverines on the attack.
Now the bummer here is that basically Harvard has a man advantage for the rest of this quarter.
6 on 5, shot clock and game clock are equivalent. 20 seconds to go here in the quarter. Westlake down by 2, but with a 6 on 5 advantage. Shot just gets to the left of Mathisrud and in to the left corner of the net. Which cap number was that for Harvard Westlake?
Number 9, Lynn Carroll Coral. Either way, it's cool. That was a great hesitation shot, kind of almost like an off-speed type pitch in baseball.
5-3, your score in favor of the Sailors after the Westlake goal. Final 10 seconds of the quarter, and the Sailors lead by 2. Going to try to get a shot off here. They do. Skip shot goes right into the chest of the goalkeeper, Eric DeSun, to let that one fly, and that does it for the second quarter. The pace has picked up a notch offensively and defensively. We are at halftime. When we come back, Andy, we will have some stats, some analysis, and second half action between these two teams. Through two, the Sailors lead 5-3, but this game far from over.
Far from over, Alex. I'm really excited for the second half.
We'll be right back. You're watching Newport Harbor Boys Water Polo on TarTV. Welcome back in to TarTV. Alex Crawford, Andy Hayes with you here live from the Bill Barnett pool deck. Right now, between the second and third quarter, Sailors lead 5-3, but it was 4-0 at the end of one. And then Harvard Westlake found their footing a little bit there in the second quarter. Like I said, going into halftime, the game's certainly not over. I think the Wolverines found some stuff they liked there in the second quarter. What do you think head coach Ross Sinclair is telling the team right now heading into the third period? How do they hold on to this lead? How do they retain some of this momentum that they lost a little bit of there in the second?
Yeah, I mean, transition, offense to defense, defense to offense. I mean, that's our bread and butter, is playing an incredible front court defense, leading to a transition where we get an advantage, whether it's a 1-on-nobody, 2-on-1, all the way up to a 6-on-5. That doesn't happen. We establish a front court and work for our 2-meter player, some sort of drive. Defense, I mean, we've had a couple ejections that have led to goals, penalty shots, I think, and it's just being smart, anticipating your teammate taking a shot, not getting beat, and being able to cover and play front court defense like we know how to do.
One trend for the Sailors that has continued in every game this season, Harbor coming in 2-0, seeking win number 3, seeking revenge from last season's CIF championship game where they lost to Harvard Westlake 11-9. But the trend has continued. Hot starts for the Sailors. Got out to a really hot start against CDM in game number 1. Got out to an incredible start against Laguna on Saturday, and they go up 4-0 here in the first quarter. How important is that for your momentum and for your confidence, especially against a hard opponent like Harvard Westlake?
Well, I mean, it shows you that hopefully these boys are realizing that they can hang. They have the conditioning for, I mean, what they've been able to do, and that they can play this game and be successful over this very talented Harvard team. It's that we started off with 2 sprint wins. If we can continue, I mean, I know Coach thinks that it's a 0-0 game, and we're going to approach it like that. And so if we can start off with this sprint, that's been our key to success to the start of the other 2 quarters, so hopefully we can continue that.
5 goals for the Sailors coming, 2 from Finn Gentz in the first quarter, 1 from Richie Rimlinger, 1 from Billy Rankin, and 1 from Colt Borgreave. That's how the Sailors have 5. We expected a game like this, Andy, hard fought back and forth, and heading in here to the third quarter, we are far, far from over. Sailors up 5-3, and they win the sprint once again. 3 straight ball drop wins for the Sailors. Add that to the ladies' 4 that they had earlier against Harvard Westlake, and it's a nice day on the opening sprint for Newport Harbor here on offense. Peter Clark has it at the point position, gets it over to Lathy. Back to Clark, back to Lathy, feeding it inside of the 2-meter man, and he can't hang on to it, spin around, or get the goal that he wanted. Who is that there? That is Cole Borgreave. at the 2-meter spot, and Harvard Westlake comes away with it.
Yeah, I mean, that was good ball movement by Newport Harbor, but Harvard was able to kind of match that with their defensive play.
Harvard Westlake, quick shot, no good, over the top of the goal. That was Shea Gilliern. Scored 1 goal against the Sailors in the CIF championship game last season. He has 1 goal here tonight. Some substitutions here for the Sailors.
Yeah, something that not everybody knows is that we can do hockey subs in this sport, but you have to make your way all the way to your corner in the 2-meter zone, and then you could do a little sub like that. So Billy Rankin just came in for Ben Lathy.
And the Sailors earn an exclusion, 6-on-5 power play opportunity. Head coach Ross Sinclair going to take a timeout and try to draw something up here on the power play.
Yeah, let's see what he has up his sleeve. This is a big one. I mean, every goal is very important in a game like this, but we have an advantage, and let's make them pay for their mistake.
Well, we talked about how evenly matched these two teams are. Sailors coming in averaging 14.5 goals a game. Harvard Westlake 15.5, both 2-0, both dominating their opponents. So this is just effectively in a season, COVID, no CIF, effectively your CIF championship game. I certainly know the boys want it that badly.
Absolutely. I do as well.
Yeah, so do I. Go Sailors after the timeout and the power play. Harbor up by 2 with possession here. Just 1 minute into the third quarter. Working it around the perimeter. Back to Mason Hunt. Thought about a shot, no. Now skying with it and finding the back of the net is Gage Vertigal. Connecting to the left of the goalkeeper to double up Harvard Westlake 6-3. Your score, 5:38 to go here in the third.
That was great 6-on-5 execution. Just made good passes, worked the ball, got the defense out of position, and set your lefty up for a great opportunity.
The southpaw, Vertigal.
What a threat to have in the pool. That's a very important person to have as a lefty on your squad.
Here comes Harvard Westlake. They get it down to their 2-meter player. Sailors swarm, collapse, and come away with it. There on defense for the Sailors, Mason Hunt, the junior on the junior national team with the takeaway. Harbor back on offense.
Harbor was able to get away with that steal because the 2-meter offensive player held onto the ball. You can basically do anything to somebody if they're holding onto the ball. But if he would have let it go, it would have been an exclusion.
Finn Gentz, now back up top. Mason Hunt has it. Shot clock, single digits, a shot and a goal. Ben Lathy, the sophomore, had 4 goals against CDM, and he finds pay dirt for the first time tonight. 7-3. Sailors lead. 5 minutes to go in the third. And that Newport Harbor offense coming to life here in the third period, Andy.
Yeah, that squad just really they earned this rest that they're getting. 2 goals for Newport. So let's see how these guys can do. I know that their main objective is just no goals. Let the starters get their rest.
And you're pointing out some substitutions here for
Correct.
the Sailors, right? Some starters swimming over, and I'm always impressed by the fact that they're resting, quote unquote. But I mean, they're still in the water. They're still treading water over there.
Yeah.
They're not on the bench. High shot, bar out off the top of the cage. It's Skies, turnover, Harbor ball. Yeah, it's not like these guys are having a Gatorade and putting a robe on the bench. They're still treading water in the pool.
That they are, but I think most of them have their own personal balls to float on. Quite helpful.
Got it. Here comes Harbor back on offense. An errant pass. Harvard Westlake taking advantage of the opportunity. Jack Berghart, sophomore, swimming quickly down the pool. One-on-one with the goalkeeper. Lobs it over his head and connects. 7-4 now, your score. Harvard Westlake, the Wolverines, getting on the board for the first time here in the third period with 4:14 to go in the third.
Yeah, a little bit of a killer, but we still got is that score correct? 3 goals? Well, anyways,
that
we
score
still got
is
a
correct. Lead. Yes, we're still up by 3. And a little bit of some sloppy passing by the Sailors. That finds Gage Vertigal. Pushed way back, and another takeaway, another steal by the Wolverines.
These officials, I mean, it's fun to watch. They're really letting the boys play. That's for sure. Not too many ticky-tack calls right now.
Yeah, have you noticed, Andy, is this a particularly physical game out here in the pool in front of us?
Yeah, they're each team's able to get away with a little bit more than they normally would on ordinary fouls, minor things, but Yeah, it's fun. It's fun.
Shot clock down to 5. Harvard Westlake's got to do something. And shot goes nowhere. Well, it goes right into the hands of Richie Remlinger, who passes it back to Mathisrud in the cage. And the Sailors will have a counterattack.
I don't know if that was a pass or a shot.
I think it was a shot that went off funny, maybe, assuming how much time was left on the shot clock. Inside, that was Gus Oding. Now they go back up top to Pete Castillo, the freshman, and his pass is intercepted. Shea Gilliard, the senior, picking off Castillo, the freshman, like a defensive back in football. And that triggers a counterattack for Harvard Westlake.
Yeah, that number 14, Christopher, is really drawing the attention of our field players to drop back on him.
Westlake at the 5 spot, skip shot to the left of Mathisrud, frustrated with that one, and that is a goal for Harvard Westlake. Who was that, Andy? Was that Koretz? 3 cap?
I don't
know who got that one for the Wolverines.
Oh, so quick, but that was a good shot.
That was Jackson Tierney, the sophomore.
Yeah, that was good. I mean, Harvard was able to draw the attention with the post-up player on the 2 post, getting all of our attention on the 1-2 side, where the Harvard Westlake player on the 4-5 side was able to get open and get a good look on goal.
Ben Lathy swimming ahead with it in the 13 cap, feeds it down, and a turnover. Fed it down low to Eric DeSund. Offensive foul, and here come the Wolverines in this heavyweight fight. The defending CIF champion Harvard Westlake Wolverines trail by 2 late in the 3rd quarter. They feed it ahead, skip shot right in the grill of Mathisrud. He takes punishment, but he keeps it out of the back of the cage. What a save.
Yeah, what a save. Great movement by Cooper to get all the way from the 3 post to the 2 post to be able to make that stop.
Here come the Sailors on the counterattack. And Harvard draws an exclusion. 6-on-5 power play for the Sailors.
Yeah, Eli Latha using his strength down there in the 2-meter position to earn that ejection.
They have it down at the 5 spot, back to the 4. Lathy has it. Now up top, Peter Clark thought about it. Now to the 1, skip shot, bar out. Oh, Wolverines come away with it. Finn Gent's almost there to clean up the garbage, and a timeout by head coach Brian Flax. And the Harvard Westlake Wolverines will keep it right here with 1:44 to go in the 3rd. Sailors up 7-5, and every time the Sailors go up by 3-4 goals, start pulling ahead, start getting some of that momentum, Harvard Westlake strikes back. Clearly a veteran team, clearly a team that knows how to win championships. They're never letting the game get too far out of reach. Sailors would love to put them away, but I have to expect, Andy, that this dogfight will come down to the final seconds.
Oh, absolutely, Alex. I mean, this timeout and defensive possession for the Sailors right now is a big one. If we can make this stop, I mean, having a coach, it takes a lot for the team to come over, and you get in a mental state, right? You get a timeout, we're expecting something big, but if the defense comes up and squashes that, that's something hard to recover from.
Well, as you pointed out, as your old head coach, Jason Lynch, might have pointed out, about a minute 44, well, exactly a minute 44 on the clock, but about 3 possessions left.
Yeah.
About 1 for each team, given, shot clock rules, maybe more.
Yeah.
But you got, it's that end of the quarter time where you just don't want to give up. As far as from what I know about water polo, you don't want to give up any big goals or let go of the rope, so to speak, and let the pendulum momentum swing back.
No, it is such a momentum shifting game, and then like basketball, when people start getting on a hot streak, it's kind of hard to dull that flame. So this one's a big one. We're gonna see what happens here.
What do you we can't quite hear him, but what do you think Ross Sinclair and his staff are telling the boys right now in this timeout?
Look out for the post up on the 3 post. That's how they were able to earn that last goal. Just communicate, have your head on a swivel, know what's going on behind you, and keep your eyes on the ball.
Beautiful night here at the Bill Barnett Pool Deck. Sun setting on Newport Harbor High School. Nice pink clouds in the sky. A little bit of a chilly night, although I'm sure the boys are staying warm with the activity level in the pool.
Oh, yeah. You get creative in ways to stay warm. But it looks like they're doing a good job.
Yeah, they look pretty warm at this point.
I think it's not too hard to be colder than it is outside right now, especially if you're wet.
1:44 to go in the 3rd. Sailors lead 7-5 over the defending back-to-back CIF champs, the Harvard Westlake Wolverines traveling down here from Studio City. And coming out of the timeout, the Sailors get a takeaway.
Nice.
Harvard Westlake called the timeout, looking to draw up something defensively, and the Sailors come away with it.
Yeah, that was a big stop. Now let's execute.
Harbor back on offense, trying to get the ball across mid-pool. Mason Hunt has it on the far side of the pool. Now up top to Peter Clark at the point position. Shot clock down to 5. They're going to have to get a shot off. And Sailors with 1 second, get a shot off. And they're going to say it doesn't count. What's the call there, Andy? They're going to wave that shot off. It was in the back of the net by Cole Borgreave. What the heck happened?
The official said he was inside of the 5-meter line.
All right, well, here comes Harvard Westlake. No time to be sad about that. Got to get right back on defense. Wolverines on the counterattack have it at the 5 spot. Shot clock at single digits now in the final minute of this quarter. Wolverines trail by 2. Sailors lead 7-5. Shot blocked by Mathisrud. Gets his mitt on it and takes it away. This will be pretty much the final possession of the quarter for Newport Harbor. 27 on the game clock, 20 on the shot clock. Sailors lead by 2. 7-5 at the end of the third. Harbor has it down at the 5 spot. That's Peter Clark.
Cole Berger just earned that ejection.
6-on-5 opportunity for the Sailors. And they're going to call an offensive foul against someone down inside. Maybe Cole Borgreave. Either way, no one here can believe it. 10 seconds to go in the quarter. Final looks of the third quarter for Harvard Westlake. Down by 2. Skip shot. Mathisrud is there. Mathisrud is there to keep it out the back of the net. He throws it across the pool. And heading into the fourth, we have ourselves a ball game, Andy. Harbor has led the entire game, but Harvard Westlake won't let them pull away. 7-5 your score going into the fourth. We're going to take a quick breather. When we come back, fourth quarter action. Back-to-back defending CIF champs on the ropes right now. Down by 2. Sailors lead 7-5. You're watching Newport Harbor Boys Water Polo on TarTV. Welcome back into TarTV. Heading into the fourth quarter, the Sailors lead 7-5, but this game is far from over. Fasten your seatbelts, ladies and gentlemen. This game is coming down to the wire. Andy, this is some great water polo being played here in front of us at the Bill Barnett pool deck.
It really is. This is exactly what we've been waiting for since 2019.
It's the last time these boys had a full season, 2019. Their last game against Harvard Westlake was the CIF championship game.
Oh, my goodness.
In 2019, 6-4, the Wolverines won that one. Harbor leads right now 7-5, 7 minutes on the clock for the fourth quarter, and the final ball drop of this game.
Oh, well, I'm so surprised. We have a new addition to the coaching staff over there at the Newport Harbor side. Little Avalon Sinclair, the eldest daughter of the Sinclair clan, drawing up some plays, it looks like. So.
Well, yeah, it looks like she's learning the coaching ropes early.
Oh, yeah.
From her father, head coach Ross Sinclair, as the Sailors win the ball drop for the fourth time today. That's a perfect 8 straight opening sprints won by the Sailors boys and girls this afternoon at the Bill Barnett pool deck. Opening possession, pressure defense by Harvard Westlake. Sailors, shot clock down to 7. Skip shot, touched by the goalie. Nope, they're going to say that missed wide left. And here comes Harvard Westlake on the counterattack.
Yeah, that was so close to being a tip out. Unfortunately, we didn't get it. Now time to play some D.
6:20 to go. Skip shot. Mathis Root is there for the stop. Sailors on the counterattack, up by 2. 6:14 to go in this ball game. Sailors looking to exercise some demons. They played Harvard Westlake 4 times last year. They lost 3 of those, including the CIF championship game.
Here we go. Let's see what Eli.
Eli Lathy inside, 2-meter player shot. It's going to be whistled dead. What's the call there? Is that an exclusion, Andy?
It's an exclusion, but Newport Harbor would have liked to have seen the officials let Eli finish that
Inside shot gets in. Eli Lathy.
All right, we'll take it. We'll take that goal. But what Ross wanted there was the opportunity for the player to take a shot and finish it. He felt like he had a better opportunity than potentially running a man down. But we got the goal. So
Eli Lathy, the UCLA-bound senior, powers that one past Baxter Chelsom, the sophomore goalkeeper for Harvard Westlake, and the Sailors lead 8-5 under 6 minutes to go in this game.
Other than the first quarter, we haven't had more than a 3-goal lead, right?
Nope, this is equivalent to our largest lead of the night, 8-5 over Harvard Westlake. They get into their 2-meter player. Mathis Root is there, playing absolutely unconscious in this game, stopping balls with his hands, forearms, face, forehead. He'll be sore tomorrow, but he's earned every bruise that he's going to get.
Whatever he's going to get, he earned it. Yeah, Cooper put himself in the perfect spot to defend that goal. Now we have a bit of a one-on-nobody advantage.
Sailors with the turnover. Harvard Westlake frantic on the counter attack. 5 minutes to go in this game. Sailors up 3, 8-5 your score. Harvard Westlake has it down at the 1 spot. And an exclusion. So 6-on-5 power play opportunity for the Wolverines. Dangerous position for this Newport Harbor defense. Westlake swims in with it. Sailors defenders swarming to the ball, moving in the pool. Westlake working it around, and the Sailors defender able to get an arm on it. I couldn't tell if that was Eli Lathy or Billy Rankin, but one of them got a forearm on it to block the shot before it made it to the goalkeeper.
Yeah, sorry, I'm getting so distracted by Avalon over here. She's hilarious.
Inside pass to the 2-meter man, fight for the ball, and they're going to call an offensive foul against Newport Harbor, against Mason Hunt. Turnover. Coach Ross Sinclair's daughter shadowing him on the pool deck. Great defense by the Sailors.
Excellent.
Ben Lathy getting a fingertip on it to force the turnover. The sophomore, one of the best players in the country for his age. And here come the Sailors. 4 minutes to go in this game. Newport Harbor up by 3. 8-5 your score over the defending CIF champion Harvard Westlake Wolverines. And a turnover.
Yeah, I couldn't. That was in a kind of a blind corner for us. I didn't really get to get eyes on that one.
I'm not sure what happened, but I do know that I believe that's Eli Lathy.
Yes.
Lost his cap.
Yes. Number 18, Eli Lathy, is the one capless at the moment.
The capless bandit at the 5-meter line. Harvard Westlake feeds it inside. Sailors defense swarms, and the younger Lathy, Ben, comes away with it. A huge steal with 3:30 to go. Newport Harbor up by 3, 8-5. Sailors on the counterattack, and Ross Sinclair going to take a timeout. Ross has been active on the sidelines tonight, Andy.
Yes, yeah, he's a very animated coach. Makes for a very entertaining and show to watch. It gets the players fired up.
Oh, for sure. He gets me fired up over here in the broadcast booth.
Oh, yeah. A lot of, I had a lot of European coaches. They tended to be a little bit more like that. And Coach Lynch, was a little bit more stoic in his approach on the bench. He saved the other stuff on the pool deck when it was just the team at practice.
Ross Sinclair in his 6th season as the boys' head coach, looking to get over that hump and win a CIF title. First one for the Sailors. It would be the first one since 2007 when you were on the team, Andy. And back-to-back trips to CIF finals for this boys' team. Back-to-back losses to their opponent in the pool in front of them, Harvard Westlake. It should be noted, too, on that last goal for the Sailors, Eli Lathy. I don't know if that was the last goal or maybe that was 2 goals a goal, but it should be noted that he was held scoreless against Harvard Westlake the last time they met in CIF Finals. So it's got to feel good for him, the senior, able to get one in there against the Wolverines.
Absolutely. No question. Like Terrence said, this is a CIF game. This is how the Newport boys and the Harvard boys are treating this game. So, I know for a fact Eli's pumped that he was able to get on the board.
No CIF postseason this year for boys or girls water polo due to COVID, obviously. So this game between these two teams certainly means a lot, or means more than it would if it was another regular season matchup.
Yes, for sure.
These two teams met 3 times in the regular season last year before meeting in CIF Finals. Harbor, in total, winning 1 out of those 4 matchups. After the timeout, Sailors on offense. Pressure defense by Harvard Westlake, forcing an errant pass by Gus Oding. And with 5 seconds on the shot clock, Sailors are going to have to throw up a prayer. They try to feed it inside to their 2-meter player. They get it away, and they find the back of the net. Richie Rimlinger at the horn. Heroic shot. 9-5. Sailors go up 4 with 3 minutes to go in this game. There's been a lot of big goals for the Sailors tonight. None bigger than that one right there by the junior Richie Rimlinger.
Yes, yeah, Richie. That was great ball movement. Good pass into 2 meters. An incredible move by Richie. He's a big fella. He's strong. He was able to get some good separation, get it high on his legs, read the goalie, and put it exactly where it needed to go.
Big-time shot by a big-time player. 9-5, Sailors lead. Final 3 minutes of this ball game against the defending CIF champions, back-to-back CIF champion, Harvard Westlake Wolverines, coming down from Studio City. They draw an exclusion here, and they'll have a 6-on-5 opportunity, down by 4. On the power play, they get it down to the 5 spot, now back to the 4. Pressure defense by the Sailors. Great defense there by Gus Oding.
Yeah, getting out there and knocking the ball down on 6-on-5s. Well done.
Sailors collapsing to the ball all over the pool. Harbor, very mobile, and blocked by Mathisrud. Sailors defense playing lights out here in the final minutes of this game, and this time Harvard Westlake, Jack Berghardt finds the back of the net for the second time today, just to the right of Mathisrud. And Westlake pulls within 3, 9-6. The score favors the Sailors with 2:12 to go in this game. A lot of substitutions in the pool now for Newport Harbor. I see Eric DeSund checking back in. I see Ben Lathy swimming back, wearing cap number 13, the sophomore. And Peter Clark, the junior, has it. Now back ahead to Lathy, trying to get past the 5-meter line. He's at the 4 spot. Gets it down to the 5. Eric DeSund, now cross-pool pass. Inside shot saved by Harvard Westlake.
Number 9.
That was Finn Gens, who had the first 2 of the first 3 goals of the day for the Sailors. Uncorked that one, unable to connect. And here comes Harvard Westlake quickly on the attack. Mathisrud gets a paw on it and knocks it out. Nice save by Mathisrud. Final 95 seconds of this game. Sailors up 9-6. About 3 possessions left, Andy.
Yeah, that's right, Alex. You are definitely a water polo person now.
Yeah, I've got my water polo
official.
I've got a visor. I've got some athletic training shorts, courtesy of Shelly Rankin and the Newport Harbor water polo parents. Greatly appreciated as the Sailors strategically play keep away and chew the shot clock there. Is that what that was, Andy?
I mean, as strategically as you could get. Like, there's nothing that was happening. Nobody was getting open. Just kind of pulled the ripcord and dumped it. At least they milked some clock. You know, that's kind of the name of the game at this time.
Timeout, Harvard Westlake. 72 seconds in this game. 1 minute, 12 seconds to go in the 4th quarter, and the Sailors lead 9-6. It would take some serious heroics by Harvard Westlake to come back, but being a championship team, I know we're not out of the woods yet.
No.
And by
not even
we,
close.
you know, we use the we a lot on this broadcast.
Yes.
We're not an unbiased broadcast team.
No, we are not. We are both Sailors through and through.
Oh, yeah.
We love this stuff, so, yeah.
The blue and gray.
The blue and gray. That's right, not silver.
No, yeah, the navy and gray, not blue and silver.
Okay.
Which you mistakenly said earlier this year,
You know.
and head coach Ross Sinclair let you know how wrong you were.
Yeah, I think potato, but we
blue and silver, navy and gray.
I'll just let you take the charge on the color.
Well, I'm sure when you were at USC, what did you call it? Cardinal and gold or red and yellow?
Cardinal and gold. That's right. Okay,
Well,
but in that
In that context,
angle, yeah.
yeah, that makes more sense.
Yeah, it does. But
what's the strategy here for the Sailors, Andy? On defense, 72 seconds left. It would take a miracle for Harvard Westlake, but like I said, we're not in the clear yet. There's still a chance. They could quick goal, boom, you're on your heels again.
Yeah, well, I mean, so Harvard's going to try to get a quick goal, probably a drive, earn an ejection, something. There's going to be a lot of movement. Newport's got to keep their hands up, have their hips up, and not fall into the trap.
Hands up, hips up. Here come the Wolverines. Final 65 seconds of this game. Quick shot, blocked by Mathisrud. Ball out. A frantic race for the ball. Harvard Westlake gets the ball back. Shot clock resets. Blocked again by the Sailors. And timeout, Ross Sinclair. Sailors defense all over it. Hands up, hips up. Stopping that ball before it could even get to our goalkeeper. 55 seconds to go in the game. Sailors lead by 3, 9-6.
Another little chestnut that Coach Lynch would say, I don't think I'm speaking out of turn here, is that it's almost mathematically impossible for Harvard to come back and win this game. I know Newport, what Coach is calling a timeout for is we're going to spread out, use our goalie. They're going to bring their goalie out, leaving an open cage similar to hockey, and just smart passes, like take a foul if you have to, stop the clock, but ball management, time management, that's what we're doing right now.
9-6, your score. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different Sailors touching the twine tonight, as they say in this game of water polo.
As they say. I found that out this week, actually.
Yeah, it's a new expression that we're trying to work in, and I'm not sure if head coach Ross Sinclair approves, but I think we'll talk him into it.
Yeah, no, he'll fall for it, as long as it's for Newport, right? We talk about the Newport goals, nothing about the opposing team.
I don't even know who scored for Harvard Westlake.
Yeah, nor do I.
I mean, I do, but this is the Sailors broadcast. But if you are joining us from the Harvard Westlake side, we thank you. We appreciate you.
Absolutely.
And we have nothing but respect for the program run there by head coach Brian Flax and his squad. Final 50 seconds. Sailor ball after the timeout. Young Ben Lathy has it in front of us. Ordinary foul. Lathy retaining possession, just playing keep away. One-on-one here, guarded tightly by sophomore cap number 10 for Harvard Westlake. So is this a strategy here, Andy, just to keep playing one-on-one?
Yeah, Ben Lathy's a good ball handler. He knows how to protect it. So Ross wanted him to hold on to it and keep away, but we were able to earn 2 ejections. Now the game is effectively over.
2 exclusions. Sailors up 6-on-4?
Yes.
6-on-4.
We don't need a goal.
With 20 seconds to go, and Harbor, with the shot clock off, will just play keep away here from the Harvard Westlake Wolverines.
We got one person even. 6-on-5 now.
6-on-5 now. Final 10 seconds of the game. Ben Lathy has it in front of us. Passes it back to Gage Vertigal. And the horn sounds, and that does it here from the Bill Barnett pool deck. The Sailors victorious over the back-to-back defending CIF champion Harvard Westlake Wolverines. 9-6, your final score in favor of Ross Sinclair and the Newport Harbor Sailors. Andy, what a win in this shortened season, this COVID season. We thought it might not happen, and we got in the pool tonight. And we beat the defending CIF champions. I say we. I'm talking about the Newport Harbor Sailor faithful. This is TarTV, baby.
That's
Go
right.
Sailors. How much do you think this win means for these guys who thought that they might not even get a season?
Oh, I mean, look at their faces. Everybody's pumped. This is a huge win. It's always nice whether or not you've lost a Harvard Westlake or any good team in water polo in a CIF or not. That just sweetens it. I mean, this is a fantastic win for these fellas. Definitely earned it.
9-6, your final again in favor of Newport Harbor. The girls dominated their game as well, winning 18-6 over the Harvard Westlake Wolverines. Newport Harbor today moves to 3-0. And I'll tell you who scored those 9 goals for the Sailors. Richie Rimlinger, the junior, with 10. Gage Vertigal had 1. Finn Gentz, the sophomore, had 2. Billy Rankin hit pay dirt 1 time. Ben Lathy, his older brother Eli, they both had a goal. And Cole Borgreave had a goal as well. So really spread around scoring for the Sailors tonight in this huge game. I mean, what might end up being the biggest game of the shortened season for Newport Harbor.
Yeah, you nailed it. Absolutely the biggest game for Newport Harbor this season. I mean, they're going to treat every game as a championship game for sure, but this might have been one of the tougher opponents that we were going to face this season.
So again, your final 9-6 in favor of the Newport Harbor Sailors. They moved to 3-0 on the year. The girls won big time as well, moving to 2-1 with an 18-6 victory over Harvard Westlake. Andy, you and I will be back here on the Bill Barnett Pool Deck on Wednesday, a 4 o'clock ball drop for the varsity boys taking on Huntington Beach. No girls game on Wednesday.
Okay.
We'll just have the boys here against Huntington Beach, 4 o'clock, as they look for their 4th win of the season. I'm pumped up, man. Like I said, we didn't get to call boys water polo last year. We didn't have a we weren't doing these games fall season. We did the girls, went to CIF semifinals with them, and now to get to watch this boys team and how impressive they are in the well-oiled machine that Ross Sinclair runs on the boys and the girls side. Very impressive. What a treat to have this game here tonight.
Yeah, I'm happy to share this experience with you, Alex. It's fun to sit here and hear you analyze the game and call it the way you see it. Coming from my water polo eyes, it's cool to have a new perspective, and what a great game we were able to witness. So, and it ended up in our favor.
Well, I appreciate you teaching me the game, teaching me what's happening in the pool and the strategy and this and that, and I'm getting most of it. I'm missing a few pieces here and there. I'm not quite up to Andy Hayes, Ross Sinclair, Clinton Jorth, Jason Lynch level of water polo acumen, but I'm on track.
Oh, yeah, you're doing a great job. You're just a well-rounded sports enthusiast.
Well, I appreciate that.
And you can notice the similarities from sport to sport, and water polo, I think, is a combination of a lot, even though it's played in a different medium than most. I see
in the water, the H2O.
That's right. And I can see a lot of similarities in all sports, so it's cool to have you be able to kind of see all that stuff play out.
Well, I'll see you here on Wednesday, Andy, 4 o'clock. The Newport Harbor boys taking on the Huntington Beach Oilers. Big shout-out and thank you to the TarTV crew, John Hoist and Sydney Griffin, for producing this excellent broadcast. Big thanks to Taryn Rodriguez for hopping on with us pregame multiple times. Of course, Principal Sean Bolton and Athletic Director Jerry Murray for making this whole thing happen. Ross Sinclair for welcoming us with open arms to the pool deck. He even hooked me up with some wings, some hot wings from Wynn's Kitchen before the broadcast. And, I get a little, I'm a little nervous. I don't want to eat before the game. I'm anxious, but man, those hot wings were so good. So big shout out to Ross Sinclair for the hot wings.
Yeah, good job, Coach.
We appreciate it. Yeah, hey, congrats, Coach. Great dub.
Yeah, nice job.
You want to hop on the mic with us? You want a little post game? Can you do a post game interview with your kid in your arms? Wow.
And you should see him. He could probably juggle 3 oranges too.
Ross Sinclair joining us here, post game interview. Ross, you guys. What a game this last game. Big win for the girls, by the way. Touched the twine 18 times for them. And the boys coming away with what might end up being the biggest game on their schedule this season. How does it feel to bounce back after last season's CIF loss to Harvard Westlake? How does it feel to bounce back in the pool tonight?
It was a fun game. We got off to a good start, but I want to talk about the girls first. I thought they were great. They came out and really focused, played really hard, and took care of business from the get-go, so that was really positive to see. And the boys, I thought, picked up where the girls left off, got off to a flying start, 4-0 start. I think we still left a few in the pool that we could have put away, but
you always think that.
Of course, that's how we operate. But yeah, it was great. We held on. Harvard's a great team, obviously well coached, and guys play super hard, and we did what we needed to do, and I thought it was a total team effort. We had 2 lineups going throughout the whole game. I thought that was the key, and I thought our goalie Cooper Matstrud, I think he had 14 saves.
Oh, he was all over the place.
He was really good. It was awesome, and the defense did a really good job of funneling and making it even easier on him. So it was again total team effort.
Yeah, that was definitely consistent from the girls to the boys for sure. It was just team effort, and it showed in the pool. And I couldn't help myself but notice you had a new coach that joined you, Avalon. And who do we have here?
This is Tilly. Want to say hi to everyone?
Hi, Tilly. You're live on TarTV.
Hi, Tilly.
Want to say hi?
Yeah. Cool.
She said defense, actually.
Yeah, that's right, of course.
Yeah, that's what you're teaching her, right?
That's right.
You're teaching
defense.
her
Defense and Lakers.
That's
right.
right.
Man. Okay, before we let you go, Coach, we got to wrap things up here. But how much do you think it meant for these guys when they thought they might not have a season to have the chance, guys and girls, to have a chance to get in the pool, have this season, and have a big win here tonight?
I think it's great. We're still finding our footing and getting in shape. With things hitting 0 to 60 and 7 days ago. So for us to be able to come together, play together one last time, it's awesome. And you know, we obviously have a good relationship and friendly rivalry with Harvard Westlake. So that was fun to be able to, you know, play for those seniors to get out there and give it another run with them.
Awesome. Well, Coach, we'll see you back here Wednesday against the Huntington Beach Oilers.
Yeah, that's going to be, we got our work cut out for that one. It's going to be fun.
We're excited.
Thanks,
Awesome.
guys.
All right, thanks,
Appreciate it.
Ross
Coach.
Sinclair, joining us here.
Thanks, Tilly.
For Ross Sinclair and all of our TarTV faithful, for my broadcast partner, Andy Hayes, this is Alex Crawford saying, from Davidson Field to the Bell Tower, from the Bill Barnett Pool to the senior lot,
There you go.
to everywhere you might have been watching or listening from tonight. Thank you for joining the TarTV broadcast. Again, boys and girls beat Harvard Westlake. Boys move to 3-0. Girls move to 2-1. We'll be back on Wednesday. This is Alex Crawford, and you've been watching Newport Harbor boys and girls water polo on TarTV. Go Sailors!
Go Sailors.